All right. How's everyone doing?
Good.
All right.
Good.
Pretty good.
What about you? Oh, I'm doing good. All right. All right. You guys can see the sheet here that I'm sharing.
We need at least 7 more boosts for us to be able to see the sheet. I think everybody's gonna have to boost.
Right.
True.
So what do we do?
All right. So as we'll get started here, looks like we got most of the people here. There's still a few missing, but let's go ahead and kind of show you guys how it works. So this is the one of the loot sheets. Everybody's going to be filling out one of these. They're pretty basic, but they do have a couple rules that it's pretty important to know when you are filling these out. It does have the basic instructions and everything up here. You just start by selecting your class and any off specs. We're not going to be putting any off specs on the list. It's only going to be main spec loot only. So don't put any off spec or anything like that on there. Just main spec only loot. Push to talk to you. Tilda can get annoying with this. So you select you put in your name, you select your class, all this opens up now. The reason that it's locked before is that it removes certain items. Pieces that are tank only won't show up if you're a DPS. Things that are for healers only won't show up if you're a DPS, but obviously there's a lot of overlap, so most things are included. If there's a specific item that isn't, you can always let me know. I can get it added, but just, yeah, let me know. But it should already be there. The other things to remember here that there's 3 different colors that you'll notice as we start putting in items. The red are reserved. They cost 1 AP. Those are allocation points. You can only have 3 allocation points spent per bracket. So in bracket 1, you can only have 3. Bracket 2, you can only have 3, and so forth. Once you get to no bracket, there's no rules. You can put as many things in there as you want. The other thing with these reserved items is that they do take up both of the slots in that priority. You'll see that as we start filling things out into them. Limited items, they still cost 1 AP, but they only take up the single slot. So it's just kind of forces you to really think about it. Those really highly contested, really good pieces, they're probably going to be reserved. You can only have one of them, and you're not going to be able to throw that all the way up to the top of your list. Here, for example, Grim Toll, right? It's going to show up as red. So if I try to put something in this other slot next to it, it's going to error out and it's going to tell you if there's a reserved item in the row, no other item can be in that row. So it's really nice. It's verbose. It tells you what the problem is. It tells you the mistake that you've made in making the list. So it's very easy to follow to make sure that you're going to make a good list there. So there's quite a few different rules when it does come to filling it out, though. You can't have 2 of the same equipment type within the same bracket. So in this case, I have a trinket. If I try to put another trinket in there, it's not going to work. Anybody else know of any other trinket name? Just throw me a trinket name that drops in Nax.
Dying curse.
I can't use it because I'm not a caster, so it doesn't show up on my list.
Dark Moon card?
Dark Moon cards don't drop. Here, you know what? What'll be easier is if we do a weapon. Let's do like I think Widow's Fury is a weapon, isn't it? There you go. See, so now it errors out the whole bracket for me, right? In each bracket, you can only have one weapon item. It'll say the same for everything. If you put in 2 chest pieces, it'll say you can only have 1 chest. If you put in 2 rings, it'll say you can only have 1 ring. If you put in, 2 anything of the same armor slot, it'll tell you that you can't. You can only put 1 within that bracket. Say I did want that jawbone though, if I put that in my other bracket and just say, well, it's still really important to me, I'm going to put it at the top of my second bracket, then it's okay. You can do that, right? The other thing is, again, the 3 allocation points, right? So another one that's going to have an allocation point assigned to it is tier, right? So let's say I want my tier 7 helm. Now in my top bracket here, I've already used a reserve, which costs 1 AP, 2 limiteds, which both cost 1 AP. I've now spent all 3 points. If I try to put another reserved item in here, it's going to yell at me again, right? So if we do say tier 7 shoulders, right? Maximum allotment points exceeded. You can only have 3, but I put 4 in, right? So it's not going to let me. What I can do is put something else in there, right? Let's say, I think this ring, ruthlessness. Yeah, there you go. See, so it's not, doesn't have anything tied to it. It's an unlimited item, so it'll let me put it in there. You can fill out both of these slots for example, in 50 you can fill out both, in 49 you can fill out both, in 48 you can fill out both. The only time you can't is in this case where I have Grim Toll. I can't put anything over here, right? Because I have a reserved item, it's taking up both slots. But if
What's the difference between the left and right column?
Nothing.
So there's, in every bracket there's 6 items?
Well, there's 2 per, I guess, yes. In each bracket, there's 6 items. Yeah. And then for each priority, there's 2 items, right? So in your priority 50, you have 2 items. In 49, you have 2 items. In 48, you have 2 items. They're treated the exact same. The only thing is that if you choose a reserved, you lose one of those slots and you only get 1 item in that particular priority.
And is there a difference between each bracket? Is bracket 1 top tier stuff?
The higher the better.
Okay.
Yeah, the priority 50 just means
if I really want something, it goes in bracket 1.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just it's whatever you assign your priority to your individual items, right? If you want it really bad, the higher the better, right? Within the rules of the list, but the higher the better.
I know.
Yep.
Is it 3 AP per bracket or
Yes.
3 AP? Okay, gotcha.
Per bracket. So bracket 1 can have 3, bracket 2 can have 3, bracket 3 can have 3, bracket 4 can have 3. But once you hit no bracket, there's no rules. You can put anything anywhere, doesn't matter.
Were we still doing it to where you can only have 1 of each item type per bracket?
Yes. Right, so that's what we showed earlier here with Jawbone and Widow's Fury. They're both weapons. If I try to put them in the same bracket, it'll yell at me, right? We can do that again here. Right, you can see it can only have 1 weapon. So I could do the same thing with the ring. Anybody know of a good ring? What's the name of a ring? I got Ruthlessness in here. What's another one?
Signet of the Malevolent.
Not available to a DK, right?
Okay. Sealing Ring of Grobulus.
Nope, still not there.
It's an AP ring.
Is it from 10 man? Because it's 25 man only.
Gotcha.
Wrong-handed ring.
Ruthlessness.
It's the one he has in there already.
Oh my god.
There, so strong-handed ring, thank you. Yeah, so see that one gives you the same error, right? In each bracket, there can only be 1 ring item. Doesn't matter which armor slot it is, it'll give you that same error and it'll tell you which armor slot it was, right? In this case, it was ring. Last time it was weapon. Again, you can only have 1 of each armor type per bracket. So again, all these rules, all they're forcing you to do is to really think and say, this item is important to me. I want to put that at the top of my list. And forcing you to not be able to just say, well, I want to put all the trinkets at the top of my list. You can't do that, right? Or I want to put all the weapons at the top of my list. You can't do that, right? You have to mix it up. Are there any other kind of questions there as far as how you make your list or the rules that are around it or anything like that? Yes.
So, the blue, the limited, and the reserved items, are those, like, were those chosen by the officers in the guild to, or is that all, like, built into this thing? And
So
reserved?
right now it's just built in, but we do have the ability to set them ourselves. When you when you open this up, it's got this other tab. This is where it's actually pulling the data from. We can assign anything to any item we want in the entire game.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I take it from here, it's going to import into the master sheet. It'll check again. So whatever changes here, I have to also change it in the master sheet. Otherwise, it'll throw me an error and say something's wrong with that list. So I'll know if anything gets wacky. But basically, yeah, we can totally discuss it, right? If we decide that as a group, if we decide that a certain item needs to have some kind of restriction placed upon it, we can do that. Or if we feel an item is unjustly given a restriction, we can remove that.
Okay. That's really good.
Any other kind of questions there as far as the?
So is it
loot list goes?
reserved because it's like from the default? Is it reserved because it's that highly sought after? Is that the idea of the
Yes.
initial reserves?
Basically, yeah. The more powerful the item, the more sought after the item, the more competition there is around an item. Typically, it's going to have a limited or a reserve tag on it, right? So tier tokens, for example, everybody wants tier tokens, but it doesn't really make sense to put them in reserved because there's a lot of them that drop, right? So all you really want to do is just say, hey, make sure you're making a conscious decision about where you place your tier tokens. So they're assigned limited, right? They just cost 1 AP. You can't put all your tier within one bracket. It has to be spread out between at least 2. Those kind of things, right? But then when it comes to the reserve, that's going to be stuff like your trinkets, your BIS weapons for that phase, those kind of things, where literally almost everybody's going to want them, right?
Yeah. So does the list take into account like BIS, like multi-phase BIS essentially? So like, is it restricting a certain class from keeping it in bracket 1 and they have to mark it as bracket 2 or lower, or is that not a thing?
No, there's no restrictions. You can put those kind of restrictions into it. It's not something that I would like to do. I don't personally think it's all that needed, especially for the kind of group that we're trying to put together. Everybody should be, high performing. Everybody should be, good at their class. And so the idea behind, restricting a particular piece of loot just because it might be slightly better for a different class isn't really necessarily something that I want to implement there. On that same token, there's no priority given to individual roles. So there's no tank priority, there's no healer priority, there's no officer priority, there's no GM priority. Everybody is equal, and if it's BIS and you want it, or if it's just a situationally really good item for you and you want it, put it on the list.
Awesome.
I have a question about you might go over this later or not, but say the 50th bracket. So if I put like Grim Toll in the 50th bracket and somebody else puts it in the 49th, it'd be prior to me over them, correct?
If you both have the same attendance, yes.
Yeah, like external of everything else, it would be okay.
Yes. Yes,
And-
it's literally just numerically. Who ranked it the highest, they get it first, and then the only external factors to that we'll talk about later. But they're all around attendance.
Gotcha. And
If there's a
people-
tie, it's just a roll-off.
It's a roll. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't make a decision. There's no loot council. There's no anything. It's like, if you have Grim Toll at 50 and I have Grim Toll at 50, we roll off for it, right? If it drops. Yeah, and then when we get into the master sheet, we'll talk about the other bonuses that are applied. But again, they're all related to attendance. There's no subjective bonuses for anything.
Okay, yeah, that's all makes sense.
So, will this all be one phase?
Right now, given how wishy-washy Blizzard is and how we don't know if they're nerfing loot postal to our buffing to our loot, it seems kind of irresponsible to be like, hey, you have to include Ulduar loot in this first list when we don't even know what's going to happen with Ulduar loot. So right now, if we don't get an answer from Blizzard, I feel like the only option is one phase. My personal preference, and I know I kind of mentioned this before in the loot list discussion, is I'm very for 2 phases per list. It really makes you think when you're creating your list, right? Because as is right now, you can basically just have, well, I want my Bis trinket up top, maybe then my weapon, and then I'll start putting in some tier, and then my miscellaneous items, and boom, there's my loot list, right? And at a base level, that's what most people's lists will end up being, because that's typically the things that are the strongest for them. So then you just end up in a situation where there's constant roll-offs for almost every item. There's almost no variation. People aren't making that conscious choice of, well, my tier 8 is better than my tier 7. I would like to get tier 8 first, and maybe tier 7 I'm okay, getting that second or third, right? So I'll put my tier 7 lower on my list. I'll put my tier 8 higher on my list. Or maybe there's a trinket from Ulduar that's just like Bis for you for a really long time, right? And you want to put that high on your list, and the trinkets from Nax aren't as good, so you'll put those lower on your list. Or maybe it's the opposite for you, and the Nax trinket's really good, right? But you don't get that variation until you start broadening the scope a bit. So for me, I love 2 phases per list, but it really depends on what Blizzard gives us, because like I said, there's no way we could do 2 phases per list if we don't know what the loot's actually going to look like, right? For at least Ulduar.
Yeah.
I think 1 phases per list, it will only show like rigidity between the different lists. Like they'll all look very similar for the different specs. Like for only bracket 1 and 2, I think everything else will be fairly variable. It's just the big items.
Yeah, and that's really kind of the main thing that you're trying to create the variance in, though, right? Is those bigger items. But yes, obviously those first 2 brackets, there's going to be a lot of similarities, almost no matter what you do, right? Because, for example, in TBC, right? If you talk at the start of TBC, what did every single physical DPS put at the top of their list? DST, right? So there's always going to be those items, and there's nothing you can do about those regardless of how you implement the type of loot list, because everybody wants it, right? And it's almost the same thing with Skull of Gul'dan, right? When it came to Black Temple, almost every caster has that at the top of their list, right? Because it's just that good. But at least with all the other things, with tier, with off pieces, with other weapons, with situational items, there's so much variance in those when you start adding in multiple phases that you at least reduce the roll-offs for those.
I think it will be fairly variable on tier, because you can get tier with badges, just not the better tier.
Yeah.
So, like, you can get your set bonuses pretty easily. If that's
yes, absolutely. And, like, the thing to remember is the loot will drop. We will all get the loot, and odds are, considering the quantity of loot that drops in Wrath, we'll all be mostly Bisto. This isn't really a list that's saying, oh, if I don't have it on the list, there's no way I can ever get it, or if I don't put it at the top of my list, I'm never going to receive it. It's just an order of who gets it first, right? And how do you decide who gets it first? Some guilds loot council it. For us, I would really want to give a loot list and just let you guys decide, right? Which items you want more than others. Any other kind of questions as far as just the basics of filling out the list or anything like that?
If we do a all guild 10-man run, how are we doing that? Are we just going main spec, off spec? Or...
Ideally, yeah. Mains overall, it's MSOS. 10-man loot's really abundant. It's really easy content. It's not really much harder than running a ZA is right now. At least for Nax. So it's
just 25-man loot on this.
Yes,
list.
This would be 25-man loot only.
Okay.
Yeah, we'd still organize the 10-mans to try to get, full guild runs together and really make sure that we're keeping the loot within the guild. Probably at least at the beginning for the first few weeks, really try to make really solid comps and separate it out so that, it's fairly even maybe competition between the groups, that, you know, one group isn't just like all the casters trying to get their items, and the next group is like all the melee trying to get their items, right? We try to, you know, even that out as best we can. But obviously at the beginning, everybody wants every piece of loot, so it can sometimes be a little challenging. But yes, 25 man only, to answer the question simply. All right, any other questions about these particular lists? This is just, again, every individual will create their own list, they'll submit it, and then it'll go into the master sheet. So if we're good here and there's no more questions, I'll move over and show you guys what the master sheet looks like, and that's where you guys can see everybody's attendance, you can see who's up first for which items, you can see all the different bonuses that are applied, and it's very open, it's very easy to read type form that you'll see there.
I do have one final question about potential new recruits. If for whatever reason somebody decides to quit or whatever, you know, things happen. How is it going to be implemented? Is it going to be hidden from the new recruit, the master sheet, until they are no longer considered a recruit? Is that how it's going to be handled?
Basically, yes. You are not allowed to see the loot list until you have submitted a loot list, is basically the way that it works. So nobody can see it until you've submitted it, at which point then you get access to see it.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So, because yes, it needs to stay private to make sure that everybody's creating a list that's, you know, unique to them, not based upon what they already know of the existing list, right? That could obviously get very not nice to other people in the guild, right? People would be crafting loot lists around what other people have chosen, right? So
yeah, exactly. I've had that problem before in previous guilds, and it was did not work out well.
Yeah, my first loot list guild was like that. You could see it from day one, and then they want me to make a list, and I'm like, well, here's the list of what everybody wants. I guess I'll make my list around that, right? And like, yeah, no, that's not a good system.
And you said that within the loot list, you can or, you know, when loot's being distributed, you can pass on an item if you decide, you know, somebody else is more important to get it. Is that controlled in the loot list as well?
Not in this particular sheet, but it is in the master sheet. So I can show that when we get over there.
Okay.
Yeah, this is literally just your personal sheet that you're creating for how you want to order the loot in the rough order that you would like to receive it in, right? And again, anything if it's for your main spec, if it's BIS, if it's situational BIS, if you want it, put it on your list, right? There's not going to be, like, once it's off list, so say an item drops, nobody needs it at all, it's not on anybody's list, it'll just go to roll. The only time it won't go to roll is if we have anybody who are saying is like a priority off spec. Like, say for example, we probably will want 2 of our healers to keep, you know, moderately competent DPS sets for when we want to drop healers and only like maybe 3 heal certain fights. So those individuals, you know, if nothing's on anybody's list, item's going to go to free roll, we would ask those people if they want it first, and then if they don't want it, then it's just literally open roll to the entire guild. There's no main spec, off spec, or anything like that. It's just open. The reason for that is, in my previous guild, Kick Rocks, we had, actually this happened twice, where people would join, they joined late, and one of the ways that they decided to try to get around the loot list and try to make things easier for themselves, since they joined partway through a phase, is they just didn't put tier on their list at all, and relied on the fact that if nothing was on anybody's list, it was main spec over off spec for roll. So then they'd be like, oh, well, that tier's for my main spec, I need that, right? And then through that, they didn't have tier on their list, so they were able to put other items higher. So I want to avoid that type of situation and just say, you know, if it's not on anybody's list, it's just open roll, right? There's no priorities given. And again, that just makes sure that if it's for your main spec, if you want it, if it's important to you, put it on your list. If we're already into a phase and you forgot to put something on your list, but you would like it added, I can add it, but it'll be in the bottom. It'll be the very last item. So for example, I'd put it like, you know, all the way down here, like 1, right? So it's on your list now, you can receive it, but you're going to receive it last. Any other kind of questions about the loot list, or just let me know. You can discuss anything. Now's your time.
What if I absolutely want MP5 gear?
I mean, you technically could, but you'd probably have to justify that. I don't think that sounds like a sound investment.
I think when he said we expect everybody like good and knowledgeable about their class, that comes to the expectation of you knowing what's good for you and what isn't.
Exactly. I know you're memeing, but that is a good answer to it. Thank you, Cheese. All right, so I'm going to jump over here to the master list then. Let me know if you guys want to discuss anything on the other sheet. I can jump back. Are you guys still able to see the sheet?
Yes.
Yep. Awesome, perfect. So here is the master sheet. Most of these tabs will be hidden. You'll only see a few of them, and I'll mention the tabs that you guys will be able to see. Stuff like this, the actual configuration of it, will be hidden, but I just want to show it so that you guys have a clear understanding of exactly how we're doing it and what we are and aren't using. So obviously we have our 2 raid days, Tuesday, Thursday. Our first raid day is going to be, it forces me to start on a Tuesday for whatever reason, so I couldn't put it as Thursday. It errors out on me, but I'll probably, either we'll just give everybody attendance for it or we'll leave it off. Either way, it's not going to affect the list if everybody gets the same, so it's totally fine. This is just for how many decimal places, so when we go to the actual loot sheet where you see everybody's priority, it'll round it to 2 decimal places. Just gives us a little more granularity. So here's something that we can discuss. This could still be open for change if we wanted to, but this is for attendance. So right now I have it on an 8-week rolling attendance period. The reason I chose 8 weeks is because in my previous guild we were in a 4-week attendance period. The trouble with that was it was very, very, very easy for somebody new to come to the guild, be here for 4 weeks, and immediately be right on top on priority for loot. By doing it in 8 weeks, it protects all you guys, right? Being here first, you know, you guys will have all that attendance built up. So if somebody joins, you guys are already at 8 weeks attendance, they're at 0 weeks attendance. While they're not loot banned, they're not going to be getting any of those big ticket items over any of you guys for a very long time, unless you have terrible attendance. So that was my idea behind that. But again, if you guys have any opinions, alternatives, you know, let's definitely discuss those. Yeah.
Is there like, I know I saw like on the, like, what's it called? The attendance sheet for right now for free patch grades, and like the scheduled time off.
Yeah.
Disco, he's getting married. So
Yep.
Is there gonna be any kind of leniency on having to go if there's a respectable reason, like you're getting married or you need to go to a funeral or something like that?
Yes. So what I had planned thus far, and again, we can discuss this. It can change, but was 1 day every 3 months. So you could miss a day every 3 months, and it will have 0 effect on your attendance at all. If you miss more than that, then it'll have an impact on your attendance.
Wouldn't it make more sense to just have it 1 day every scheduled reset of the like 8-week cycle?
We could do that. That would be once every 2 months. That's a little bit more lenient, so that's definitely a possibility. It's really something that's going to be up to what everybody thinks is the most fair between, you know, protecting, you know, the integrity of the lists and making sure that you properly reward people who have that really good, solid, consistent attendance, and still allowing for people to have a life and not feel like they're being penalized, right?
If we did 6 weeks with 1 absence, that might be a good thing. I don't know.
Every month and a half? That would be
Seems a little light.
Yeah, because now we're getting a little bit on the lighter side, right? And then you run into problems with, you know, either people being able to miss too many raids and still being top attendance, or, you know, like I said, newcomers coming to the raid and jumping up really quick. 6 weeks is maybe a fairly happy medium, but again, it's an 8-week rolling attendance period, so, you know, Once you hit that 9th week, whatever happened the first week doesn't matter anymore, right? Once you hit that 10th week, whatever happens on week 1 and 2 doesn't matter anymore, right? It's only the previous 8 weeks that matter. So
The longer the runway is, the less missing an attendance point is going to matter.
that's
So
true as well.
it's not super impactful. We don't need to be super liberal with these gift days. This is like the first I've even heard of them.
Yeah, that also makes sense.
Yeah, another way to handle it is you can do the attendance breakpoints, which is essentially just, instead of, for me, I have it right now as purely linear. You get 10 points if you have 100% attendance over the last 8 weeks, all the way down to 0 if you have 0 attendance over the last 8 weeks. So in this case, you can change it though, and we could have there be breakpoints, right? And we could say if you're over 90% attendance, you get all 10 points, and then it could be a middle bracket and a bottom bracket in that. Personally, I would say just take it linear, and then we just use our, freebie day or gift day, whatever we want to call it, to allow for people to miss a day every once in a while without being penalized, right?
Yeah.
They'll still just keep 100% attendance. I'll just mark it on here like they attended it. We'll use the absences sheet that you guys are already filling out for the raids to keep track of what days people actually missed. That way it's easy to go reference and see, well, this person missed this day, 5 months ago. Okay, they're going to miss a raid again today. Okay, that's fine, right? They can use their free day on that. But, if somebody's missed a day last week and then they're trying to do it again, well, we still have that sheet that we can see, well, you weren't here last week, so no, you can't do that again, right? This would impact your attendance. So easy ways to track it, right? And again, these are public, right? You guys can all see them, so there's not going to be any funny business going on in the back end.
And just to clarify, I don't have anything, invested in the idea that I had. It was just a thought.
Yeah, no, and that's all good. And then, again, that's part of what we're here to do, is to discuss these options, right? Maybe some people want it longer, some people might like it shorter. We can discuss the, merits or consequences of any particular option, right? And see what works best for us. So moving on down low, the other thing here I guess we'll show is there is a late or leave early penalty. It's 0.2. You get 1 whole point per raid day that you show up to, so 2 points per week. If you're late, well, I was going to say anything under half an hour, we'll mark you late if you show up. So raids right at 9, right? Ideally, invites go out at about 8:30. So ideally, we're in raid, getting buffed up. Everybody's there 5 minutes before pull, so at about 8:55, and then either everybody's there and ready and we can start going, or we get buffed up and we pull immediately at 9, right? But we don't want to be showing up there right at 9 and then walking into the raid a couple minutes late. We want to get started right at 9. So anything over 9, and you'll probably be marked late, so just make sure that you guys are on time. And again, that kind of comes back to our in the guild info there. Punctuality is key. When we show up the raid, it's 25 people coming together to try to get through the content and have a good time, and it just really feels bad if people are showing up late or leaving early, or taking half an hour breaks in the middle of the raid, whatever happens to be, right? So just do keep that in mind, that is something that will show up there. So the other ones here are the bad luck prevention. So we will implement that. This is another thing that helps protect you against a new player joining the guild. Say, for example, you're tied for a really, high priority item. You have it at number 50. Somebody else had it at 50. You both roll for it. You happen to lose. What you will receive is the seen but not received bonus. So in this case, it's 0.25. Now that affects everybody who's given attendance for that raid that has the item on their list. So if that item dropped, it was on your list, but you didn't receive it, you get a permanent 0.25 to your priority for that item. And that protects you from somebody else joining the guild, having it at that same priority, and being able to take it from you. Even though you've already been here longer and you might have seen a couple of them, just not quite got them yet, it'll protect you in that case. Now, if they rank it higher than you, there's still a chance they could get it right? Because you would have to see it and not receive it 4 times to move up 1 whole point, right?
These additional, like, you get 2 points every week. Are those 2 points added onto each item in your list?
It's different. So it's attendance points. So the attendance points are basically all it's going to do is it's giving you 2 points per week. It's going to divide that by the total number of points for that 8-week period. If you get 2 points per week, we're doing 8 weeks of attendance. That's 16. It's going to take your total attendance points for that week, divide it by 16, and that'll give you your total attendance for the week, right? So if you attended everything, you weren't late, you didn't leave early, you get full 16. 16 divided by 16 is 1. You get the full 1.0 for attendance. What's the maximum? That's 100%, right? The maximum it'll give you then is a plus 10 to your priority, which is what we have set here, right? The maximum bonus points is 10.
Gotcha. Okay.
If it's anything less than that, say you have 97%, it'll give you 9.7 points. If you have 50%, it'll give you 5 points. And we'll see that in the attendance sheet when we get there.
And those points go to your highest ranked piece?
Every piece that you have.
Every piece, so it's spread out. Okay.
It's just additive to everything, right? If you have perfect attendance, you're getting all 10 points. Your item in 50 now has a priority of 60. Your item in 49 now has a priority of 59.
Interesting.
Great
Okay.
additive to everything. The only other one, Hyro, this is what you had asked about, is the passing bonus. So yes, if you are to receive an item, you were up for this, I'm like, Hyro, do you want this? You say, no, I'm going to pass it. I can't use it until I get these other pieces or whatever, right? Then you get a permanent +1 for passing. So now, say it was your 50, you have perfect attendance, now it's a 60, now you'll actually have a 61. So now you're even higher priority on that item. So the next time it drops, you're even more likely to receive it. Even if, say, you missed a week or something like that, you could still be first for that item.
Basically, all these things are being tracked in the spreadsheet, right? Like,
In the sheet,
all these,
yes. Yes, it's all done pretty much automatically. All I do is put in what items dropped and who received it and who was there, and it calculates everything else. And I'll show you guys those as we go. Yeah, and then I can obviously remove stuff from your sheet if you really don't want it, but that's, not too consequential. It doesn't really change anything. Sorry, Go, were you going to ask something?
Yeah, so say 3 people have the same item, it drops, 1 person passes, the other 2 rolls, so then now 1 person won, the other 2 got 0.25 points, but the person that passed got an extra point, so they'll get it the next time it drops.
You can only receive the passing bonus if you won the roll.
Okay.
So if it's a 3-way tie and you're like, you know what, I don't really want it, I think I'll pass, I'm still going to make you roll on it anyway. Because if you're not going to win the roll, then you can't really pass on something you weren't going to win in the first place, right?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so then that prevents that exact situation.
It's more so for if a set wasn't coming together yet and you want to essentially wait multiple weeks and give somebody else better use of the item.
Exactly, right? You don't want to penalize yourself for passing an item. You want to incentivize that, right? So this is just the way that it's, the list is trying to do that, to make sure that if you, in good conscience, are to win an item, but decide that it's not good for you for that particular week for whatever reason, you can pass it and get a bonus to your priority for that, protecting you from losing it in the future.
But you can only pass it if you win the roll.
Yes, if it's a roll, right? So if you're tied, it's a roll-off. If it's you on top, it's just you, right? And you get to decide. But if it's a tie, it's a roll-off.
So if it's just me that has, say, this is my only item in this particular slot and it's just me, I just get to keep it? I wouldn't pass on it if it's only me, correct?
Well, there might be other people further down the list, right? So you might have it at 50, right? But somebody else might have it at 49. Somebody might have it at 38, right? They could have it anywhere on their list. So again, those rankings are just a matter of who wants to receive it first, right? How important this item is to me. And then from there, it's whatever you decide, right? Okay, you're first on priority for the item, it drops, but maybe you decide, you know what, I can't utilize this right now, like Hyro was mentioning, right? I'll pass on it to the next person down the list, right? You get your permanent +1 the next time it drops. you're pretty confident you're going to receive it even if you missed a raid, right? You're not going to lose that item.
And how long do these points last for?
These
Is it
bonus
every
ones are
set?
permanent.
Permanent, okay.
Permanent, but for that item only, right? So,
Got it.
Yeah, once you've received that item, the item just comes off your list, so you don't even see it anymore, right? But and then when you move into a new phase, obviously it's a whole new list. That item's not part of this list anymore, so the bonus values don't apply. Everybody's starting off fresh again anyway, right? Your attendance will carry over, but nothing else will. And then down here is the section for rank, role, different class bonuses. We're just not using any of that, right? No, we're not giving any bonuses to ranks, positive or negative. We're not giving any bonuses to specific classes, single items, anything like that. It's just even across the board. So I don't have anything in here yet, but as loot is given out, this is where it goes. I can import it in here directly from, there's actually an add-on that I can use that tracks all this for me. I literally just copy paste a string in here. It does everything for me. It's really nice, very easy. Then the other one in here is attendance data, same thing. It'll give me a copy paste. I just pasted in here. For now, I just used an example of myself and somebody named Caster1. I did the same thing with loot. I just gave us both random pieces of loot, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. So you can see me, I gave myself 100% attendance. I plan to, and this Caster1 guy's missed a few raids. So you'll see how that affects things as we go. Here's the actual attendance sheet. So this is what I was talking about before, Awkward, where you receive 1 point per raid day, a maximum of 2 points per week. It gives you a total points value and then divides that by our attendance period, right? So if there's 2 points per week, 8 weeks, 16, it's going to take your total and divide it by 16 and come out with a percentage. That percentage is then what it applies to your gear.
So you can only get the maximum of 10 points on the final week of the cycle? Am I understanding that correctly?
Well, it's a rolling 8-week period, right? So currently I said we're on week 8, right? So it's going to look at the previous 8 weeks and it's going to say how we did, right? But it's a rolling 8-week period. So it's not just that last day, it's the whole previous 8 days, right? So for the start of Wrath, yeah, we're only going to have 1 week. Everybody's only going to have 1 week of attendance. And then they're going to have 2 weeks of attendance, 3 weeks of attendance, 4 weeks of attendance, all the way up to 8, right? Once you're at that 8 weeks of attendance, you're permanently at that 8 weeks of attendance unless you miss a week or miss a day, right? Then it'll knock you down a bit of attendance. But it's a rolling 8-week period.
What if you're benched?
If you're benched and you are on and ready for the, like at the start of the raid, how I'm thinking I'm going to handle it is if you're on the bench, I'll invite you to the raid and then I'll do the, it's like an automated roll call. It just looks at everybody in the raid and writes their name down in the add-on, and then I can put it into the sheet for attendance, and you'll basically get full attendance, right? At that point, we're all ready to go. All 25 are there. The bench person isn't needed. They're free to go at that point, but they still get full attendance for the raid.
Cool.
Yeah, you're not penalized for being on the bench at all. There's no penalty there. As long as you're on and ready to go for the start of the raid still. Because if you're needed, that's the whole point of a bench, right? If that bench person isn't there, then the raid's struggling with only 24 people, and that sucks, right? So if you're on the bench, you have to be there for the start of the raid. But if all 25 are there and the bench isn't needed, we'll let you go. You don't have to worry about sticking around. You'll still get full attendance for the raid. So anyway, this is what the attendance sheet kind of looks like. This is what you'll see. So you can always come in here and see what your personal attendance is, what somebody else's attendance might be, anything like that. If you ever notice anything wrong with it, you can always let me know. We can talk about it. We can go through it. We can make sure that everything's updated properly. And then here's what the loot actually looks like. So there's a tab for each raid, and within it, it just literally orders each person in the order of their priority, right? So I can go way over here. This sheet will be hidden. You guys won't be able to see this, but this is just basically how I import the loot in here from your guys' loot sheet. It does have, like I said, a bunch of functions that it's doing to this. It's actually importing it from here to this other sheet called loot, from loot to the master list, from the master list to each of those. At each step, it's doing a bunch of checks to make sure that everything's filled out properly, that they're actually supposed to be eligible for that piece of loot, that it's given the right priority, that there's no mistakes in the brackets, those kind of things. But anyway, so the gear is pasted in here, and then once it goes through all these different functions, it'll come up into these. Now, again, all this is it is the priority that you're assigned to it plus your attendance at this point. So we can see here the strong-handed ring I have, and it's saying I have a priority of 54. If we go over here, that means we should find it in the 44, strong-handed ring, right? Because it's giving me a plus 10 for my attendance. And no other bonuses applied. And this will be, literally everybody will be listed in here, right? If you've submitted your list, if you have it in, all your loot will be here. And again, this will be fully public once everybody's submitted their list, and you'll be able to see, and you'll see, okay, I'm up first for this item, this other person is second, right? In this case, it looks really dumb because it's always me and them, because all I did is took one list and just put them side by side and gave the guy other, like, worse attendance than me, right? So obviously I'm going to be ahead in that situation, but normally, you know, the names are all over the place because everybody's assigning a different priority to their particular loot, right? But as you go and you can see, okay, I'm at a 54 priority, this guy's at a 50.37. And I'll have all the loot. And then again, you guys can come here and you can see everything, right? Oh, when am I going to receive this particular item that I want? You'd go to this list and you would look and you see, oh, I'm first for it, cool. Oh, I'm going to get it third, or whatever it happens to be, right? And then to go your question, yes, there's loot for Obsidian Sanctum and EOE here as well.
So in that setup, you would technically get those pieces first, like every time.
In this example, yes. Like I said, I didn't. I probably could have set up a better example. Here, if I go over to the loot list, you can see it, right? All I did was create one list and just put them side by side and gave that guy worse attendance. So it's not going to translate to the most, you know, pretty list on the other end. All I was trying to do is just show that it'll show you the priority, and it'll show you the name of the individual that'll receive it. In a normal situation, these are going to be all over the place, right? Like, we could change one and I could update the sheets. It takes a long time to update, as you can tell. I accidentally typed something and now it's going to take a while. So like when the sheet updates, it takes a long time, but that's why it's all done well in advance of the raids, right? This isn't something that's updated during the raid. This is something that's updated immediately after we finish raid, or if it needs to be, before we enter the raid for the day, right? But ideally it's updated after raid and then never touched again until the next raid day, right? So I mean, all in all, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much entirely how it works. And again, once you've submitted a list, you will be able to see this, right? You'll be able to see the attendance. You'll be able to see all the different loot from all the different raids and the priorities and how it's going to be given out. All that is completely public once you have submitted a list. If you haven't submitted a list, you won't be able to see these.
What's the deadline for submitting a list?
We still have to decide on that. I'm really hoping Blizzard gives us an answer soon on what's happening with Ulduar loot. Most likely, I mean, I'll probably need a day or two to make sure I get everything into the list properly. So probably like the Monday before our first raid. So I think that's like, what, October 3rd? It's probably what we're looking at.
Yeah, I think that.
So lots of time. You know, I'll get these sheets out tonight after we're done here so that you guys can start looking at it, start maybe planning things out. At least, you know, just get through maybe a basic list for Nax. That way, if it does only end up being one phase list, you already have that done. Or if it does end up being two phase, at least you have a template to start with, right? But, you know, we can definitely get started on it. Any other questions at all about how it works or anything at all?
Yeah, how does it work?
Exactly. Magic.
Filling out the list, if you've never done it before, is kind of a daunting process. Might take you like an hour or two at first, but once it's done and submitted, you don't have to really think about loot really, and it's once you're raiding and loot just comes to you, it ends up being a pretty chill system.
Very. I love it because it makes people think about the loot before they've even entered the raid, before the phase even starts. You've made a plan for yourself. You're deciding these items are important to me, these items aren't. I need to get these before these, and you're thinking about not only your loot but the raid's loot as well, thinking about, well, this item's highly contested, but this one isn't, and it's only like a 1 DPS difference. Okay, I'm going to take that item instead. That way I'm not fighting over this other piece and I can just get this thing sooner, right? And you're weighing all these options in your head, right? Or maybe you do want to fight for that piece because you feel it's that important to you. You can do that, right? It's 100% your choice in how you fill out the list, just as long as you follow the basic guidelines, right? Which are main spec only, right? And then just the rules of the rest, the rules of the list.
I'm coming in a little late, so you might have said this already. You'll be releasing the software that will be choosing our loot list.
It's just an Excel sheet. So if you
Okay,
didn't see
it's
this
already
before,
done.
yeah, it's pretty basic rules. I'll just kind of give the Cliff Notes summary. It's kind of got the basic details here as well, but you select your name and your class over here. Once you've done that, these will unlock for you and you can start filling things out. You just select items from the drop-down boxes. You have these points 50 to 25. Each priority has 2 slots. Reserved items take up 2 slots and cost 1 AP. Limited items just cost 1 AP, and each bracket can only have 3 total AP assigned. The other rule to it is that you can't have 2 of the same armor slot or item slot within the same bracket. So here I have Ruthlessness, that's a ring. If I try to put Strong Arm Band in there as well, it'll air out on me.
Gotcha. And you'll be setting this out once it's ready, or tonight?
Technically, they're already ready. It only contains Nax loot, but we can at least get started on it with that, right? And then if we do need to update it, or there's a new sheet and we plan on doing 2 phases with Ulduar, I can send that other sheet out. You guys can literally just copy paste from this one to the other. But that really depends on what Blizzard gives us, because there's no way we could do 2 phases per list without knowing what they're doing, right? We have to know what they're doing with Ulduar loot, whether they're buffing Ulduar loot, nerfing loot that comes after Ulduar, or keeping things the same, right? If we don't know that, we realistically cannot make decisions on Ulduar loot. So
I like 1 phase at a time either way.
it's definitely simpler, but it also does lead to a lot more competition for items, right? Because now, well, everybody needs their tier for that phase, so it's going to be up near the top, right? Everybody needs their best trinket for that phase, so it's going to be near the top. Everybody needs their, best weapon for the phase, it's going to be at the top. Whereas in a 2-phase system, maybe your trinket from Nax isn't as good as your Ulduar trinket, so you put your Ulduar trinket higher and your Nax trinket lower, or maybe it's reversed for you, or maybe your tier 8 is better than your tier 7, or your tier 7 is better than your tier 8, right? And you're flip-flopping all these different pieces around and making all these unique choices that really create very unique lists for everybody. Whereas again, with one list per phase, there's a lot of overlap that ends up coming out of it, and most items, especially tier, weapons, trinkets, just end up being massive roll-offs.
I feel like having 2 phases means that a lot of people are just going to prioritize everything from the next tier, though, and then we're just going to have an issue where people just take a bunch of tier 7 right away.
Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. For example, let's say Black Temple into Sunwell, right? For some people, that tier 6 immediate gain was a huge DPS boost, and they wanted to grab that as soon as possible, right? Or they were just really giddy for like getting a Zardoom or a Skull of Gul'dan or something like that, right? One of those cool items. So they end up putting those really highly. Meanwhile, somebody else is like, you know what? I'm okay being a little weaker for the first few weeks of tier 6. I'm going to put my Sunwell items higher, and I'm going to try to get, that end game Bis trinket first, right? And there's different people are going to see the list differently, and they're going to have a different priority on what they want, right? And opening it up to allow for those choices just allows for that individuality, right? And creates far more opportunities for people just to create unique lists and not have as many roll-offs. If we do one phase per list, just know that it's going to end up being quite a few roll-offs for those big items. Stuff like, for example, Grim Toll, right? The melee trinket. It's going to be basically a roll-off between everybody who's a physical DPS, right? So just be aware of that. It is an option. It's a valid choice, but just be aware that that's a likely outcome.
I mean, it does give you the option, though, of knowing people are going to put that, you could slide a weapon or something else up and have a little bit of an advantage there.
Absolutely, you can.
There's different ways to play it, for sure.
There definitely are. Absolutely. Any other questions there as far as the loot lists are concerned? Any, issues you guys can think of? Any other questions you have? Obviously, while you're filling them out, you can always reach out to me if you're having any problems. I can help guide you through it. But the goal is to really keep these, when you're making them, as private and individual as possible. Try not to directly discuss your list with other people. Obviously, talk about what's best. Talk about, different loot that you may or may not want, or things that are better for different classes or others. Engage with each other, theory, craft, have fun, but don't directly talk about, I'm putting this at number 50 on my list, right? Like, try to keep those private if you can.
Here's something, Dundo. Since we're getting 2 weeks before raid, can we use that time? Because we're going to be collecting like pre-bis, right?
Yeah.
Can we have our lists be due like shortly before the raid week?
Yep. Yeah, that's what I was
like
saying. I'm thinking like October 3rd, 3 days before the raid. Because I need time to put them in and vet them, and if anybody made a mistake, get back to them and give them, a little bit of time to fix it before we actually hit our first raid.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, depending on like what items fall that we actually get for our pre-bis, some items are going to be major upgrades, and some are going to be kind of like meh upgrades.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Give us that time to kind of work that out.
Yeah, for sure. No, I totally agree. I think that's a good way to use that time. So, you don't have to rush your lists in or anything like that, but I just need to make sure that I have that little bit of time to get them all good. So I'm thinking October 3rd right now is what will look like.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Is there like a time that we will know that if we're doing like 1 or 2 phase for sure?
As soon as Blizzard tells us. If they don't tell us at least a week before launch, I think we have no choice but to go with 1 phase, just to make sure that everybody has enough time to plan it. So right now it's still a little bit up in the air. I'll probably still want to get something out, maybe a little more concrete, like a survey out to everybody to see how they feel about it, 1 phase versus 2 phase. But either way, we're a little restricted by Blizzard here. So. Any other questions at all? Anything at all? Questions, issues you can see, things you might like to see implemented, changes to the attendance, anything at all.
Do legendaries go in here?
They will. So it's not something that you can specifically put on there right now, but the way that it will work is that the legendaries, when we get to them, will be a guild vote, and they will go on your list occupying your top spot. So you will lose your top, your number 50, both slots of your number 50, if you are to receive a legendary. So we don't know who that'll be yet. Again, that'll come down to a guild vote once they're coming out. So everybody would just make their lists, and then say, for example, we did 2 phases per list. Well, Ulduar is part of
The healer.
the second phase. Yeah, it's got the healer mace. Everybody's already created their list. So what we would do then is, if the person was to win it, it would occupy their number 50 spot, and everything else would just get knocked down.
Right, chicken. Makes sense.
That's what's going on in my head, though. Again, everything is still pretty up in the air as far as how we can do it. We can do almost anything, so it's really whatever people want to do. There's still plenty of opportunity to make changes, to adjust things based upon feedback and what people would like to see and what everybody feels is fair.
For sure.
I think it's really good. Yeah, it's really well thought out.
Yeah, I think so too. I was kind of intimidated just by hearing it at first, but like this looks really clean. I like it a lot now.
Yeah, it honestly, the first time I filled it out, and to Cheese's point that he mentioned earlier, it is kind of intimidating the first time you do it. It takes a bit of time. You're really planning things out, but putting in that effort to plan it out, to know the gear that you want, to have a rough idea of what your gearing is going to look like through the phase, putting that on paper, and then getting that in, and never having to worry about really loot again, because you just kind of look at the sheet and you know who's going to receive loot. Everything's predetermined before we've even gone into the raid. There's no stopping for everybody to roll on every piece like we're doing right now. There's no, hey guys, give me 20 minutes. The loot council needs to go confer, right? Like, there's none of that. It's just items drop. Oh, it's for this person. Do you want it? Yep, grats. Here you go, right? And we're already gone. We're already moving, right?
That's the worst. We gotta confer. We gotta take 5. We gotta confer about this item.
I hated that so much. That's the number one thing that I always said in a loot system, is that if you don't know where the loot is going before you even enter the raid, you have a bad loot system, right?
No,
So main spec, off spec, we have a bad loot system for pre-patch. I fully acknowledge that. It is terrible.
What's the worst is when they finally come back with a decision, and then they have to spend another 5 to 10 minutes justifying it to the raiders. Like,
Yeah.
oh.
And somebody's always upset, right? Because somebody, for whatever reason, right? Because they're making a choice based on, subjective reasoning. Somebody else is making their own choice based upon their own subjective reasoning. It's very rare that those two things are going to align, right?
How many legendaries are there in Wrath?
2.
Just 2.
Nice.
There's the healer mace, and there's the axe, the 2-handed axe.
Odds are all the healers are gonna get the mace though.
Yes, we will continue to go back to Ulduar to be getting more Valeniers. So it's really just a matter of who gets it first, and then second, and then third, and then fourth. Because, well, I mean, there technically could be a 5th. Maybe one day, Disco. Maybe one day. Discipline Priest ahoy.
Just give Disco priority on that Lich King mace instead.
I mean, if he could do that, he has to put that high prio on his list, though. That's not for me to decide.
As in, like, I feel like it's a good little compromise for him, though.
He chose his class.
Yeah.
He chose his damn class. He knew what he was getting into.
Yeah, it's pretty weird how that works, though, because it doesn't affect shield at all. It only affects direct healing. Doesn't even affect overhealing either, so it's kind of like feels bad for discipline. They're OP through the entire expansion, though, so like it'll be them and Holy Paladins.
I think it procs off the renew, so.
Yeah, that's it though. They're direct healing only, so that'd be renew, prayer of healing, flash heal, penance. But if you look at a healing breakdown of a discipline priest, it's 80, 85, 90% power word shield, which is amazing, but terrible for the legendary.
Actually, Lich King weapons, how do we want to do that?
What do you mean Lich King weapons? They're just on the loot list once we get to that phase.
Really? Okay.
Yep,
I guess we'll be clearing from like week 1 or 2.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, there is no kind of like hidden priorities, right? There's no loot counseling when it comes to those things, right? Like the legendary for Disco as the Discipline Priest is just kind of like a, it literally has no effect for the Discipline Priest, and it's immediately outclassed by the very next item in the very next raid. So it just doesn't make sense for a Discipline to want that. But for everybody else, it's amazing, right? For a Resto Druid, amazing. For a Resto Shaman, amazing. For a Holy Paladin, amazing. Holy Priest, even, amazing, right? Like, everybody gets huge use out of it, so... For all of them, it's just whoever we decide as a guild that, we feel this person should get it first, right? And then once they've gotten that, then we'll do the same thing, and then we feel this person should get the next one, right? And we'll just keep going through it like that. Same thing will happen with Shadowmourne. I don't get GM Prio on Shadowmourne, even though I would love to. It's whoever the guild decides. And maybe that's not me, and that's okay. I'm not going to be mad.
So I remember a discussion on this. When did we decide officially on just a vote?
It's still not decided yet. That's just kind of the way I see it right now, but it could definitely change. If we want to change it, it could be changed. It's something that we as the guild would have to discuss, but it could change.
I like the idea of democracy.
Is there a different way that you think we could handle it differently or handle that better?
Probably combat.
Mortal Kombat.
No, I just saw a discussion on it, and then I think it's obvious who it's going to go to first.
Dralu gets the healing mace too. More death strikes. Oh god, that would be such a waste.
Actually, maybe a tank paladin might actually use it.
That'd be hilarious. Anyway, we're getting a little bit off topic there. Any other specific questions as far as the loot list themselves are concerned?
Yeah, well, kind of another vanity item. What do you plan on doing with mounts? Is that just rolls or loot
The
list,
idea
or
was the idea was just flat roll, not putting it on anybody's list, nothing like that, just open roll. Stuff like Mimiron's head, I believe, isn't it 100% drop chance on Yogg 0?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like a thing of we're not going to get it, or like Twilight Drake. It's not a thing of we're not going to get it, or it's super rare like Ashes of Alar. It's literally just a who's getting it first. Like it's now like the bag from Meg Therodon question, or a Nixia
Right.
pack question.
Right.
The only one is Invincible that would be contestant.
Isn't that 100% drop in Heroic?
It is.
Oh, okay, never mind. I guess it changed.
Yeah,
I guess
the
it
Ring the
changed, yeah.
expansion, I believe it's 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah, fair enough.
But what if it's BIS for me?
The cosmetic is BIS?
Yeah.
Then you get it last.
Technically. It's got forever value. Yeah, no, just
Yeah, but
literally
what if
open
you
it.
don't have epic flying?
That's probably just going to be a courtesy thing. If you don't have epic flying, don't roll. But I would imagine everybody should have epic flying by that point.
Don't you need epic flying for what cold weather flying?
I don't know if it's
I think so.
prerequisite.
No, you don't.
This guy's gonna say 5,000 gold.
Yeah, I seem to remember being on my poverty flyer back in original Wrath of the Lich King because I was broke.
Which raid are we doing first?
If we don't have any other questions about the loot list, if nobody has anything else they'd like to discuss, there's nothing mandatory for tonight other than just our loot list discussion here. So if you want to head out, thanks for showing up. Happy to have you, and let me know if you have any questions about the list. But otherwise, we did put signups in extra activities, and we're just going to go do a Gruul's TK and SSC just for fun. So if you want to stick around, you can whisper Tralug for an invite. You can bring anybody too. It doesn't have to be your main, whatever you want to bring.
If we stay around, can I leave after SSC?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Especially because we're just gonna run that last.
Yeah,
Alright.
most likely.
All right.
I was honestly thinking about doing it last, just because if people wanted to do their, if they're still on that attunement chain, that way they can bring in alts to go talk to the guy behind Fathom Lord. But at that same token,
think it's
if people
Gruul
are doing that
first,
quest, maybe they want to do the part where they have to kill a Lar. But at the same time, the title's gone, so it doesn't really matter.
Reindeers last
you
night,
actually get it
12?
before it anyway.
I think I'm at
Yeah,
like
a lot of
15, so
experience when
you got me beat.
level when wrath drops.
I want to say I'm around
19.
15.
And the beginning.
Congrats, dude. That it doesn't fly, does it?
I think we'll definitely start with Gruul.
Somebody was getting me confused on that the other day. Only the headless horseman mount that flies.
Good night. Have a good one.
He's got so much health, I don't know if we'll be able to do it.
I think I'll be going in there every couple days. Just in case. In case I get it. Yeah, this is the first time I'm using that loot list system. I've done EPGP, I've done loot council, a couple different types of like loot. Now, loot list seems pretty cool. I like spreadsheets.
Alright.
It's got attendance in there. It's got a whole
Not
bunch
bad.
of shit.
Plug a couple, fill that out pretty nicely.
No DST, boys.
What were we doing first? Gruul?
Gruul's, yeah.
A lot of corpses here. I Midnight of the Loop did the what's it called? The zombie thing start?
It's at 20k.
Yeah.
Hey, you still need
25K.
sure-footed enchant?
Yes.
I got it, bro. We're good.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Thrallmar.
I can hearth back to Shat.
Yeah.
Weird, I can no longer reroll the engineering transmog from the transporter. What
That
you
would-
get is what you get.
That would have been cool. It could fly.
And what I
Then I
got
would be
was
after it a little bit more.
What is that again?
I am a night elf for the next hour.
Yeah, I know.
What engineering
I'm
item
gonna
is that?
spend at least like 24
It's an Area
hours
52 transporter malfunction.
putting it in there, switching items around.
Hey, you have the mats? You need me to grab it from my bank?
I got mats. Just let me know where you at.
I'm coming to a doll right now.
Okay. So what do we got here? 2 healers, 2 tanks. Alright, can grab 2 healers and some.
I need to see what everything is ranked too.
Who had the sure-footed?
First off,
Harm can also do. Sure.
is it reserved? Is it limited or whatever? Or limited?
It's hard to become a zombie. Everyone just hears it.
Yeah, it's not exactly like.
It's hard for right now. It won't be here in the next day or two.
Does
The
it?
timer goes down to a minute.
Oh
Good.
shoot.
I think it's still 5 minutes right now, right?
Yep.
Did someone else need that enchant?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
just,
there,
grabbing some
there's still,
mats
I guess,
from the bank.
possibility of 2 phases. So I hope we do stay with 1, because there's a lot of other people like me that this is what I'm using. So it's like
Just
1
2
phase
large
to get
prismatic
used to the
and
whole
2
system, how
I
it
mean,
works and
2
everything.
void crystals, 4 large.
And then we
prismatic
could do like
yes.
Ulduar TOC or whatever. 2 phase lit. 2 phases. Keep the first one just cool with that.
God.
Can anyone make Band of Loot Power?
Well, Nax, PoE, and
What? I do not know.
Darth
This
Alagos.
fresh boost, should I be using haste pots or destruction?
The boosty boy?
Your lock? Destruction.
Destruction.
Yeah, I'd say so as well. Probably see more benefit of that. buffing your dots and whatnot.
First one. Got it.
Honestly, we could do Gruuls with this pretty easily, but let's see what we find.
I'd recommend not getting pugs for Gruul specifically, just so we keep the spine.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
That's all people want Gruuls for.
I mean, really, Gruul himself is easier with fewer people.
That's true.
Fair.
And the Eye of Gruul.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah, yeah, it's good. Like, just we can do Gruul. So we got here. We got what, 15 people. Yeah, we'll be fine.
You could just put it on reserve, but
You want to shift to your priest?
Was that sorry?
Sorry, I'm just shadowing 2 of the void crystals, and I'm trying to get it for my rogue to get a little bit more hit for this raid, because he is a boosty bitch.
Grab some of that tier 4.
Honestly, I'm hoping for any gear I can.
Should bring my other boomie, my alt boomie.
Oh, you're coming to raid on
Eh.
that. Alright, I'll take some out.
Yeah, who's asking about a priest?
Super was. Do you want?
Yeah, bring whatever you want. Yeah, if you're an alt, the only thing I'd ask is that if there's something that a main needs, just let the main have it.
I haven't
but,
seen an official
I mean, yeah, bring
list either.
Bring whatever you want. Doesn't matter. Tier 4, tier 5.
Somebody was saying like they had a couple months before TBC dropped, they had the whole days list published. Since they're still looking at buffing and nerfing item level, that's determining
Leveling
the
on
phases.
my rogue for quite a while now, just getting all the leveling gold, and I finally realized today, right before raid, that I hadn't trained my mutilate at all.
Oh my god!
I was using a level 1. I was like, why am I only doing like 600 damage? Like, I got brutal gladiator like weapons. What's called? Why do rogues just suck? But yeah.
Yeah, they're doing things really weird. Announcement wise.
Assassination.
I didn't see anything about the boosted tune, like the whole package, the $80 package at all.
Yeah, with this slice and dice refresh.
Dropped like the day of pre-patch.
Yeah, just want something easy, so I don't have to think about it too much. Unlike freaking.
Maybe the day
Druid,
before there
you
was
just,
that
like,
leak.
Kinda keep everything together before it falls apart.
Called
Yeah, there's a lot of spinning plates with Feral, that's for sure.
ID tracking sound.
Can I get a summon it?
Doing it right now. See somebody click.
Awkward, I like how your alt is an enhancement shaman and your main is a feral shaman or a feral druid.
Yeah. I like those complex classes that you can constantly keep learning.
You just love breaking fine china.
Yep. Although I am playing a little bit more elemental now on my shaman.
Atta boy, there you go.
I mean,
You
I
do
was
need a few more meatballs. Yeah.
I was elemental for the longest time.
Adding the whole
It got a little boring.
and a half.
I'm addicted.
Raids aren't open.
It's super fun right now because you just
Kind
do
of a
so
weird
much goddamn damage. Like,
decision.
You like throw a chain lightning bolt combo, and you just see like 20,000 damage on the
Oh,
screen.
I don't have
This, can you summon me inside?
shit to buff. Buddy. Get buffing now.
Got 16 man in Gruul, this would be easy. I remember Gruul back in the day, even pre-nerf. It was honestly easier with fewer people. You didn't have to deal with as much crap with the shatter mechanic.
Shatter mechanics a joke now.
Have
Yeah, now it's not too bad.
I don't have
It was
my
all RNG.
my rebirths.
It It's mostly
I grabbed that
RNG.
before SSC and TK.
There was definitely a lot of RNG to it, but there's also a lot of people that just played it very selfishly.
Personally, I just love hugging the tank.
It was always the rogues.
Thank you for the 7.
Rogue's got a lot of hate in TBC.
Did this last week too, and I was expecting to have to tank this Kegler, and
I'm ready. I'm just reloading.
dugged everything down. I think we had like a. Oh, we only got 15.
To start any fights, but who's typically the main tank and off tank with Pally and DK? Are they like opposites?
I mean, technically, I think the DK is the highest single target threat, but the Paladin
Yeah.
carries the more utilities, so
I need to get that.
both are really good.
I don't think I'll use it
Paladin single
in
target threat
Wrath,
becomes really good as well
but
once they get their shield
I can at least take advantage of
You're
it
not
now.
really answering the question now.
I need to figure out who the guild scribe is. Get my minor glyphs if they've discovered them.
So
Because I'm cheap, I'm not trying to pay for them.
Yeah, they can't use shield.
I want Dash, Mark of the Wild, and
I want to pull Warrior.
Typhoon, Wrath. Lazy.
Oh no, I'm in Blood or Frost.
Should be stacked.
My UI messed up and I was
People
trying to
behind
my
me
camera
aren't
and I
stacked.
drank like 11
So-
healing potions.
Remember to stack in behind the brutes if you don't want them to charge.
Did I get?
Well, my auto marker doesn't mark these anymore. Big sad. You're basically just gonna keep them all grouped up. The only one that we can't is gonna be Crush Firehand. Magic Aura, you good with Crush?
Didn't get.
Yeah, then go if you can get some threat on Kegler. Any amount is fine.
Alright.
Just throw like a Starfire on him.
Are we gonna like prioritize or just nuke them all?
Well, Skull X and then Square, but you can basically keep them all grouped up. Just be careful with Circle. He still does his Whirlwind. If you're not a tank, it could still kill you. Just be mindful of it. You just gotta back out.
So the
So
flash
we're doing
doesn't
a
work. in
typical
here.
strat. Like, who do you want on ogres for Mulgar?
Good question.
Right.
Magic Aura's got Square. Go's gonna get Moon, and then just start DPS in
Right.
the group. So really, it's only Skull X
And,
and Circle. It doesn't matter whichever one you want, cheese.
Can we let the Fell Hunter go, or do you want me to get it?
Probably just banish it if you can.
I'll focus on Skull. I'm sorry, the Mulgar main guy.
Okay, so Parm, if you've got Circle, Hyro, you can get Skull and X.
Can we get Mark of the Wild?
Oh, only Veggie Dip doesn't have Mark of the Wild.
Oh, you had one.
And by we, I mean me.
Yeah, you had one. I couldn't rebuff it because I don't have the improved one.
It's all good.
Yeah, I swear they had like 40 minutes on one. What happened?
It's a 10-yard pull timer. Try to make
Oh,
sure
I still didn't get.
Eldoria gets the first hit off, but try to get in immediately after.
How dare you, Lust?
The Ally doesn't hit threat on him. I just solo this guy. I'll let them kill
Okay,
them.
melee, we're on Malgar. Careful for the spin. Range, kill Square.
I like
You
this.
don't have to worry about banishing thing again.
Aw. My threat.
Sure, you loot your badges.
I'm not behind.
Stack in behind if you don't want to get feared.
Heal.
Stack in behind.
Very
the
fine.
boots.
Team player. Close enough. Standing in.
Group 3, you guys can kind of go to the left. Group 4, just kind of in the middle. It's fine.
Eat it.
Can lust it.
Did it backwards. And used my unused trinket. Immediately into solar.
You can anti-magic shell that.
Oh, no way. I had no runic power. That's cool. Which part of it? The shatter damage or?
Yeah, the damage.
Oh, oh.
Actually, never seen it drop all of TBC.
Which next?
We want SSC or TK? I don't care which one we go to. They're all going to be quick no matter what we do.
Like third
TK?
I like TK.
Yeah, TK's good. Let's head to TK then.
TK. I need
So
my.
what are the only bosses worth killing in TK then? Probably what, Loot Reaver and KT himself? Or do you guys just want to kill more than that?
I'd
No,
like to just do what's
boss.
necessary. Like, that sounds good. Whatever has the good loot.
Because I know you want Void Reaver, because if you don't have a DST, then you want that trinket.
Yeah.
I don't think I need Astromancer for the wand.
To use
Because I think you can
Rune
get
of
one
Portals.
through badge gear.
For Shadow Priest, yeah, the badge wand is better for Shadow Priest.
Oh, the Arcanite Steam Pistol
Give
is
them
probably good
the
as
rune
well,
back.
as well. Still. Hit agility.
Oh, you think I should? I got that golden bow from Sunwell.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, then you don't want to. Like, the hit rating's good off the gun, but if you have Golden Bow is better with the armor pen and the agility.
Well, let's still do it. Just for the fun. He might drop Ashes of Ore. It would make sense that it dropped off him.
I thought it did, but no, that drops off of Gale Toss.
Is it like that in retail? Because I thought that too.
No, it's always Gale.
It's always Gale Toss.
Hello.
But legitimately.
Cool.
Hello. It's got
Yeah.
pieces. For me, specifically. I'll take 2 seconds.
Yeah, if there's actual gear that you need and can make use of, then sure.
And 18 man this entire T5 phase. Easy. Or 16 man, I guess.
Are we gonna kill Leo?
We can, yeah. What do you want from Leo?
Tsunami Talisman.
Oh, Tsunami, yeah. Yeah, Tsunami story.
Fish boss?
Fish boss.
I need that.
If we have somebody who needs Fish Boss, yeah, I can kill Fish Boss if there's a need for it. I was gonna skip it, but if somebody needs it, we'll kill it. Like, the only thing I could reasonably use out of there is, like, the trash drop necklace. So.
I think it's actually pretty good.
Chill last night.
Murder does have 32.
I want to get up to
strength,
18,000 gold by the end of the night, though. So I'm gonna have to farm a little bit. Oh, though. I would have to go to Strath, I think. Strath or Ramparts. Maybe I'll do a couple Mount Run.
I'm sure a lot's changed. I think they changed a few Librams too, didn't they?
I don't know if I'll make it up to 18k.
Mana, like 34.
Couple hundred gold. It's gonna be
Does Rain want that?
11:30ish by the time we're done. Maybe even midnight. So
300 spirit for 20 seconds.
Is that good for Shadow Priests? I don't know. What Shadow Priests?
7,500 gold. I want to farm in the next 3 weeks. Less than 3 weeks now.
Rain? Is that true? I don't know what Shadow Priests.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't listening. What's up?
Farmed a bunch
you
of
stack spirit?
BF to where I have all this
Yeah,
cloth.
spirit gives me 20.
So I just gotta wait.
20% of my spirit goes into spell power.
Okay, so an earring of
Wait
soulful
for me to
meditation that
sell
gives you
some
300
before I go back, because
spirit
yeah,
on
BF
doing
is
the
pretty
cooldown would be
fun.
good for you?
Nice change of pace.
Yeah, spirit.
It's not that great. If you have something like an Icon of the Silver Crescent or like a Hex Shrunken Head, it's same par, if not a little bit better.
Gracious, can you click?
Oh, nice. Yeah, I know. Just doing the Mount Run is pretty good.
There's a bunch of us inside now. I can throw up a closet.
Does it work inside there now?
Yep.
Nice. 2 spell power trees. That's nice.
Pretty chill.
Yeah, that'd be an
The only
interesting
stressful
trinket.
ones
I
are.
can't see that being an actual DPS increase over
Oh.
Essence of the Martyr or Icon, though. It's got less static spell power, and the spirit conversion to spell damage for Priest isn't that great. Actually, do they even get a spirit conversion to spell damage? I thought it's just mana regen.
Yeah, it's something weird in their talents.
Yeah, like doing the actual Strath runs. Parts are both kind of stressful for me.
Actually,
They get
trying to push it
20%
and make
of
it like
spirit
quicker.
into spell power.
Okay.
Oh, I hate that
Is it
shit.
McLev?
Now it's talent, second from the bottom.
Oh, nice. My auto marker still works in here. Sweet. So Vindicator stun and heal. Legionnaires do that whirlwind. It's not too bad if you're like a plate wearer, reasonably geared melee DPS. They're not going to kill you. It's fine. Astromancers just do some AoE fire damage.
Funny because I've been
Star
doing like all
Squires
this
do
gold per
AoE
hour
arcane
calculations.
damage.
I haven't farmed for an hour straight yet. I'll go and I'll do a run.
Doesn't hurt too bad.
I'll
They
chill.
also mind control, so kill them first.
I need to start doing like gold per run.
We can start pulling.
Something. I don't know. I don't know how to calculate it. Popping motherfucking everything. Everything? Everything. I think we just agreed on that shit.
Y'all do some crazy damage.
We're all just want to be more like Go.
I'm not here to have fun.
Whoa.
I'm here to top the charts. Every pull.
This man's here to commit genocide.
Oh man.
The ret is crazy, bro.
Yeah, man, you're doing some damage now.
Yeah, look at this ret.
I was seeing
4.2k ret.
DPS. It was kind of nuts.
You can pull all this.
I have
the
no
marshals,
chill.
Whirlwind really hurts.
Yeah, I was trying to wait until they were all
Zero
together
chill.
to get them at once. Now it's kind of staggered.
This is gonna kind of maybe this works. Oh, veggie. I'm sorry. I stopped.
Please don't hurt me. Please don't.
Oh, I was gonna clone.
And that's why.
Forgot about the mind
That whirlwind
controls.
really hurts, guys. That whirlwind really hurts.
I at least stopped my AoE. Let the record show.
It's pretty much the only mob that's really dangerous for melee is going to be those marshals, as well as I can't remember their name. We'll get to them later. The guys who do the arcane whirl.
Do I have to manage to spell anything from bosses tonight?
Not on bosses, no.
Good. I mean, I could.
Lots of dispels for the tanks on this next pack is really important.
Am I resing? I'll res.
You can pull them back whenever you want.
Got him.
Either higher or cheese. Either
What days do we raid? Tuesday, Thursday. So Tuesday we did Sunwell,
Yeah, big dispels for tanks.
Black Temple, Hyjal, and we're doing the TK Gruul tonight. And then just random 10-mans throughout the week. They're waiting for the Karazhan boss to spawn from the event. I've been doing the ZAs whenever people for ZA.
Can grab the other pack.
Past couple of sets. It's 9 to midnight on Eastern EST.
Mass dispel.
We had that loot list discussion 9, a little over an hour. And
You're immune to death grip.
came in to do some raids.
So they went into the game, into previous raids, and made things immune to DK spells. That's interesting.
Well, some things are just immune to diseases, right? It's not really necessarily that they made them specifically immune. Did somebody say they needed a LAR?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll kill it.
Ooh, no.
Ranged and healers come down to the bottom here. Come stand on the spike.
No threat for down below, right?
Yeah, we gotta kill the birds. to
Can't pull. I can just
bar.
pump.
I grab some rebuffs.
Grit mana bars. Yeah, careful about coming up here. You're gonna get charged like that every time. That's why you need to be where the ranged are at that triangle there.
I couldn't heal a bunch of people, so I was trying to. What was that?
Yeah, line of sight on the corners, kind of lame on this. Sorry about your mana bars. Just have to kill the one on the other side now.
Too, but the days too.
Yeah, if we can.
Oh
pull it
yeah,
closer to
yeah.
the edge, I think it would help out the range.
The roster's full though. It's only like a 26 or 27 man roster.
Don't let it go any lower there. If anything, you need to pull it further up. Easy. I'll just need on those, throw them in the guild bank.
Clean my mouse or something. Digging.
Who you want, high or slow?
You guys can pick.
Hero, you want Alar?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I don't think we get any ads phase 1 unless he goes across the top cheese, so you could probably jump up here. And...
Oh yeah, I don't drop down anyway until something's about to spawn.
Okay.
If we kill him that fast, awesome.
I think we should.
Lol, son of a bitch.
You're doing some lessons.
2 million.
Never done this before. What the hell?
I dropped off.
He said all you DKs look the same.
Right. Alright, we can pull him.
I don't even know. Veteran. Couldn't pop treants, so I freaked out.
Make sure you're right at the edge, Hyro, so you can get heals.
I don't know if Starfall even hit him.
For later. He's gonna be moving here soon.
He's immune to half of my spells.
Melee, make sure you're behind him. Melee, jump down when he's at about 3%.
Alkin Frenzy.
Melee might want to jump
Oh.
down.
Good lunar or bad lunar?
We're gonna lust pretty much as soon as she comes up. Dead lust.
Oh! I didn't do anything. I swear I didn't do anything.
It's fully tauntable.
I didn't even fairy fire at that point. That was just straight up aggro. I think it keeps sending Starfire.
Just light spread. Don't be near.
Shadow Priest in second? I guess they're dots, maybe? Fight. Perfect. Solar.
Ah, so close.
They're up there.
I mean, just thank God we have Go. Insidious, you're kind of pumping right now.
Thank you.
That's a
Oh,
lot of
shoot.
damage.
Gloves of Sea and Grip.
Wow, those are nice.
Those are really nice.
Next.
Loot Reaver, I guess.
Alright,
I don't think we need to do
left.
Solarian. I don't think she
Loot
drops
Reaver.
anything worthwhile.
15 gold, not bad.
No hunters?
Forgot I brought a flask.
Should have done.
You want a flask? I
Should
got
have
one.
No, I got one. I just
downloaded
so
Deadly
tired
Boss
today, like
mods.
forgetting everything. I was up till like 6 in the morning again. Brutal.
Oh my God.
How do you do it?
That's insane. 6 in the morning? That's like when people wake up. Not me, but some people.
God, that's when I woke up.
Same.
Yeah. I work
Yeah,
from
that's
home.
kind of the whole point. That's why I have to do it. I can't touch the things while people are using them. It's frowned upon.
Oh, let me tell you, some people use stuff at night. Not me though. But some.
Starfire. Lunar. Cloud Mob.
And these mobs feel pretty bad. Seeing as they're immune to poison.
You know what the nice thing is about these next packs? They should actually be a lot easier with DKs.
Solar.
These wolves are broken.
I hate robots.
They'll only attack if they're aggressive.
Well, yeah, because if you have it on defensive, you have to tell them to attack. Otherwise, they
Even
won't.
then, I'm telling them to attack and they're not.
There's the patrol. We just pulled it.
Yeah.
Remember, this guy pushes you back.
Oh, really?
Don't have your back to the middle, otherwise you get launched into the middle. You'll pull more shit. Don't do
Gee.
that. Yeah, do not have your back to the middle. Veggie, you gotta move. Spicy.
Where's the fun in that? Ooh, Nether Vortexes.
Just gonna need on those for the back as well, in case anybody needs belts. Make some belts for alts, or sell them for Guildmate cash money.
I'm just gonna start
I
pulling.
feel like I'm gonna be designated to move
Go ahead.
around.
We might still want to banish one of the mechanics.
I want to mess it up.
Kill the Temple Forge Smith. Once the smith is dead, kill the mechanic.
Only super short banishes, please. If we're gonna do them.
Yeah, rank 1's probably fine. I just wasn't sure how their AoE is gonna be. Uh-oh. We pulled. That's why I warned you guys about having your backs to the middle. Could we get a banish out?
I'm down.
Gotta kill the smiths.
Waiting for them to come up. But
Smiths first, then mechanics.
just trying to like heal them up as soon as they came out. My HP got gone.
Okay. Let's kill the big guy. Should be good with no more banish.
Too far in to run back.
Kill the mechanic. You guys really gotta watch your backs there. Can't be having it to the middle.
Looting in combat?
Oh, good recovery. Let's try to make sure we do it cleaner though. We probably, if we're just pulling one group dist, I think let's try no banish. I think we'll be okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, I respond way back.
It's alright. You can catch up to us. We'll keep pulling. Same thing. Little guys first.
So another
Smith,
face full.
mechanics. Don't worry about banishes.
Okay.
Yeah, I have.
It's very easy if we let tanks in first and make sure that we're all ready. Some healers are in the back, and we had DPS face pull there, so please be careful.
Yeah. 16.
Everything
We
in
gotta
here has
chill.
a pretty large aggro radius.
Indeed it does.
Better to be safe.
Hey,
Like a lot of bosses do in TPC in general. It's like, I don't know if we've had one clean full timer yet, just because somebody just gets a little too close.
I feel like some people aren't seeing the pull timers either. I'm not sure if everybody's updated their DBM.
I think it gets a little better in Wrath. I remember people being able to be in a decent position for the fight, like off the pool, which helps.
Yeah.
Smith.
I'll death grip the smith in. Now the mechanics. Much better.
I don't know.
Still the same boss as he was before. Somebody's gonna have to be out to basically just run a circle.
I can do it.
No, you should do damage. You'll do good damage.
Alright, I mean, I have Pursuit of Justice, that's why I said, I'll do it, but whatever.
I could do it and just throw dots on him.
Is this guy is he immune to disease? If so, I'm very, very much useless. And
He's mechanical.
He probably is, but I have no idea.
Okay, fuck it, I will second with Gunfighter now.
Alright, Dist, you said you can do it. You'll just run circles, keep dots up.
Yeah, so do I run that circle there or just around him in melee?
Just kind of around him. You can't be in melee. You have to be like 20 yards away from him. You have to be quite a range.
Okay.
Yeah. Although, because he's going to cast the orbs, right? And he's going to always prioritize people who are more than, I think it's 10 yards away. But you have to be further than that. Otherwise, you could silence us. Yeah, so you want to be like 20 yards away. Everybody else is stacking up directly behind him.
Do I need to turn him to face away?
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just reloading my game.
Yeah, it's you and Hyro. Pump as much threat as you can because he still does his knockback, still does his threat drop.
Threat drop.
Let me know when you're ready. Awkward.
Yeah, I'm on the loading screen. It's just loading in. Alright, I'm good.
Full timer's up.
He moves.
Yeah, he's immune. Fine. Dis, you just gotta keep running from those orbs. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it should be good. Don't get too far from the healers. It should be pretty good there.
Now we're good. Allocation. Starfall? No? Maybe? Probably not. Innervate, right?
Nicely done. Lame loot.
The innervate and got it right back off cooldown.
Kitty.
Yep.
A minute.
We're gonna have to kill the patrol. I don't know where he's at. He's gonna be coming down sometime soon. There's the patrol coming. Remember the Centurions? They're the one that do the magic damage spin. Hurts real bad. It can be sheeped, but we only have one mage, so we're actually going to have to deal with this mechanic. Melee, don't stand in the spin. It'll kill you pretty quick if you're a tank, too, so... Melee, just be careful when they start spinning. You have to get out. Tanks, you have to move too. Can kill you as well. No spin? What? Okay.
Probably took it out of the game.
Promised.
Go ahead. Just go right into it.
All the red. I see the red up there.
He's spinning.
There it
He's
is.
spinning.
Red pumping.
Bitch ass 6,000 health couldn't survive.
I got the red. You guys keep going.
Thanks.
Anyone logging by chance?
Yeah, I will. I'm not live logging, but I'll post them at the end. We're not going to parse that well. We're short manning it, but it's fun. Spinning.
Poor dead. All the melee.
Double.
The double ate us.
You can't stand between two Centurions. That'll happen. Spook balls. Always got to be off to the side.
Pull all the trash in here. I should be helping right. Bad Boomy.
Kill the group in the back first.
Mass Rest doesn't come till Kata, right?
Yep.
Is it Firelands?
So just keep them all grouped up, but melee, the marshal, it'll kill you if it whirlwinds. Tanks, you can stay in though. The marshal's whirlwind won't hurt you that bad, but melee, it will kill you. There it is. Can't stand on the Arcane Flurry still, though, from the Centurion. That one will still kill you. It's so much damage.
I don't like being in charge of nothing. I don't like this.
Flurry, 5,000 damage a tick.
Not one.
Another guys. I had a timer. Terrible.
I gotta have to quit the weapon. I still have my Mac. I do. Ooh.
Dude, I was so far out of that.
Yeah, you guys gotta watch for that. Dying
Dude,
on
I
every
was
pattern.
behind you.
Were you jumping?
No.
Weird.
Got a fucking timer.
I kind of just want to pull. Somebody faced. I think that was you, Goldar.
Might have been.
I accepted the res and it put me outside. It's wonderful.
Summon. Go outside, Zay.
We need a bow.
No deaths.
All right, Dist, you're gonna tank Copernican for us.
You send me real quick this.
You guys are so needy.
Right now, please.
Can I get pally buffs again? My bad.
Sorry, you only get 4 per raid.
Yeah, I know.
You have used your allotted buff quota. It's too many wipes, too many deaths.
I only have 6,000 health. It's hard to not die.
For Thaldred the Darkener, Melee, let's try to make sure we let him get somewhat back in the room, just so we can have a clean phase 3. I don't really want to kill him too far forward, otherwise it's just going to make it brutal. Dist, you're on Copernican there for when she's up. You good with that?
So, do I need to pick up a weapon? It's been a while since I've done this.
Yeah, you'll still need to pick up your legendaries. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to break some mind controls, so rogues and I guess DKs as well. We need to pick up the daggers. The only time that it will actually activate its effect and cleanse the mind control is if you use an ability. So rogues, if you put it in your offhand, that means you have to shiv. Just be mindful of that. You gotta try. I guess it's time to level your dagger skill. Lol.
we can't use daggers.
Oh, we can't use daggers at all. Shit. Okay, well, never mind. It's really up to you two, to small wiener and ugly.
They haven't trained their
You guys are the only ones.
their
that have
dagger
abilities
skill
that use
up.
daggers, so. I guess let's zap
Perfect.
through that phase. That's when we'll use lust, and hopefully we can get through it with hopefully no mind controls.
Yeah.
And weapon phase. Hyro, I guess. Can you get the axe out?
Yep.
Awesome.
I guess I just save
Who's gonna
Starfall
take
for
the-
weapon phase.
The bow.
Hyro can as well. And just try to face it away from the raid. That's all you got to do.
Yep.
All right, easy.
For Copernican, do I just run up there and start shadow bolting, or?
No, you spam.
We actually one-shot
Stand-
this. That's the question.
Yeah, so stand just a
Okay,
little bit
right.
off to the right. Once the fight starts, I'll show you. We're pretty good. We'll move up. Let's start it. So once the fight starts and she's active, you're gonna be like up here. Yeah, you could be that far. You don't have to be this far over, but yeah, over here is good. You just spam swing paint on her. It's not gonna be her first. It's Thaldred first, then it's Lord Sanguinar.
Oh, that's right. They come one at a time. Yeah.
Yep. Let's make sure we get Thaldred to the back of the room. It's just gonna make the phase 3 a lot easier.
100,000. That's it.
Oh, too fast maybe.
Don't kill him there, guys. We need to get him to the back of the room.
Stop damage.
Let him get to the back.
All those dots.
Kill him here.
It's actually pretty far.
Good job.
Lord Sank.
Can we get a Fear Ward on Cheese? Looks like he's the closest.
No, he
Just higher
fears like right off the rip, huh?
Yeah, there you go.
Ghost.
Jesus, right.
Whoop. Might be able to Starfall this guy.
Okay, it's gonna be Copernican next. Now it's Copernican. Don't be near Copernican, melee.
A rip.
Careful with your pets. That's my pet.
I'm dazed.
You're fine.
Read.
Yeah, Dis, you will pick up the staff when we're on weapon phase and make sure you use it. It's got like an on-use effect.
Like Lunar just keeps coming back up.
There goes one dagger user.
Oh, revive me, please.
What did you do,
That
dude?
bomb one-shot me.
Play that guy. Good. Lovely. Right on this thing.
Can you pick up a weapon if you need it? Everybody should use one. Healers, you want the Cosmic Infuser. Caster DPS, you want Staff of Disintegration. Melee, you want Infinity Blade, Warp Slicer. It's Devastation over here, big two-hander for deeps.
Oil on it? Oh, target is too high level.
Range, when this next phase starts up, you're all in the back, killing that guy in the back there. Can't remember his name. Dist, you're on the side. You're on the side over here on the right. You got a tank Capernian. How do we lose a small wiener?
I played Flurry too early, I think.
Just evasion, and if you're ever worried about that.
Oh.
That's what I always do on my rogue. If I know I'm just gonna pop off, I just pop evasion early.
Up to MCs. Oh, it still had debuffs on him.
Make sure you get away from Capernian. I got feared directly into her.
Trying to just
take Thaladred out of the group.
Threat.
You can't really take him where he's going.
She's just one-shotting me. I need somebody else on Capernia.
Who's she on? Hyro? Hyro, can you just spam some icy touches? Big heals on Hyro.
Killing her.
She's on me. But I am currently feared.
How'd you die? Because you should have had the buff from the legendary healing mace that makes you take 50% less fire damage.
Are the staff buffs still only group wide?
Yes, that's why I put one in your group, but he's dead. Did anybody else pick up a staff? What the fuck?
There's no interrupt. He still one-shots people if you let him.
Oh my god, I was moving people in groups. Stack up, lost it.
3 MC.
We don't have anybody to kick those anymore because Small Wiener and Ugly are both dead.
It's still a lot of damage.
No, now you guys have seen the fight. Stay alive. That was really bad. You can't reset it. You'll just have to die. Stay alive, guys. That's really all this fight is endurance and staying alive. Don't stand in bombs. Don't pull for it and get meleeed. Yeah, Dis died to just the fireballs. The legendary mace, Cosmic Infuser, they use for healing, provides a buff to all your targets that reduces their fire damage taken by like 75%. Just make sure you pick that up.
Yeah, we did, but he like just died.
You can spam the heal on him beforehand to put the buff up. It lasts 30 seconds.
Well, like he froze and then we got feared.
Oh, okay. How did you die the first time though? You had a conflag and then 2 fireballs. Interesting. I thought you couldn't reset it. Did they change something? Like, did his doors stay open or something? They always used to close.
Go invisible.
I mean, that works.
Yeah, I can have you unfollow.
Alright.
Beer bio.
I gotta go all the way around. They're following me. I don't know where the hell I'm going. Might be able to go the other way.
Yeah, make sure you put your weapons back on. Disappeared when we died.
Yeah, weapons back on for sure. Awkward. It looks like you ate 2 bombs. Don't be afraid to use feint. It'll reduce your AoE damage taken. It's a good way to survive those. That or Cloak of Shadows, but realistically, you just shouldn't be getting hit by those at all.
No, that was totally my fault. Like I'm aware.
People up.
I'm back. Thank you for shepherding me.
Hey, babe.
Oh.
So,
You're welcome.
all good out there.
That's the one that you left.
This was part of their. They're aiming to have from well. While we won't have.
Let's finish this up so we can go clear
Performance
SOC
is
real fast.
just 'cause they're the. What the fuck? There's a difference between trying to like make things.
You got 2 long
Like, we
phases.
reserve the right to replace.
Gracious. Should be able to do
Like, are you
good.
fucking kidding me?
I know. My
Don't
single
fuck
damage
you.
is not that bad.
Because I'm almost certain you didn't do the greatest. Anytime someone would tell you to do, go fuck
I
off.
can only carry one.
Fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
She no longer can stack.
Ugh. Fuck you. They're the right.
Or stay alive. It's really one of the most important things.
You don't have one.
Don't get hit by bombs. Let's make sure we're getting nice, early, lots of heals on a YSDT. Bomb that man.
Yeah, I'll just put on my bacon for him.
Bacon. Alright, let's go ahead and start it. That was literally the entire fight. The last phase is a lot easier than the mind control phase. So that's really going to be the hardest point for us, is just getting through that.
Let Thaladred get to the back also. Don't go off on him.
I'll put 2 dots up on. Very fired, 2 dots. That's.
What kind of slow DPS on this guy?
Oh my god, dude.
You should not have been that close.
Yeah.
No reason to be.
It's only a 10k fixate. It's just like Supremacy. You can rip off very, very, very easily.
I had no idea. I just thought it was a permanent fixate. This entire expansion, so we all make mistakes.
Do you have threat meter? Because it only shows 10k if you look at threat meter.
I just didn't think it was a thing that you had to worry about.
Yeah, pretty much all the fixates are like that. The only one that's not is what, Red Riding Hood? I think that's like the only permanent fixate.
Need to move him.
Hit him.
Towards engineer. That'll work.
Oh shit. That's.
If you're getting conflag, that means you're too close.
Not a good positioning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she moved a lot. That's going to make this a lot more challenging. So melee, when we go on to these two, we're going to have to be careful because we are in conflag range of Copernican now. So we're going to need those moved to the bottom of the stairs.
One hurricane and
Pick up your weapons.
picked up everything.
Okay, remember all three of them are coming up. Copernican's way too close to the middle. You will get feet, or you will get conflagged by her. Melee, you might want to be way over here by this guy's feet for now.
Who we killing first?
Nah.
Darkener's coming this way, guys.
We got bombed.
I don't even know if we can do this, man.
You guys got to make sure you keep distance from Copernican, Melee. You can't be.
Yeah, I'm like in fucking flag myself.
So we're down 4 again already.
Less people that can be MC.
We need interrupts.
She MCs the same number. I'm trying to get there. Like, too far. I'll get next. Go ahead and lust.
You want somebody up?
Save it. We'll see how this goes.
If you get veggie dip, I can interrupt.
Clear those mind controls, Ugly. It's all you. Shiv, shiv, shiv. Can we get Ayak up, please?
Purge, spell the boss something.
Purge again. Purge. Still in a purge.
Oh no.
Oh no, Ugly got MC'd.
So we were plenty far enough in terms of actual DPS, but people need to stay alive here. So just make sure you're far enough away that you're not getting conflagged, because that's why she moved at the start there. Gracious, make sure you're not ripping threat at the start. Veggie, looks like you got conflag into bomb. So same thing with you.
Rebirth
Small
doesn't
Wiener,
come back
you
up.
guys were too close to Copernican. I know it's tough if she does move, but part of it's on us to make sure that we're at a range. You know, you could just be in front of the 2 guys that we're killing. That's what I was doing to make sure I was at a range.
The Thaladred focus or fixate works a lot like Supremacist. Like, if the fixate is getting ready to change, and DBM will tell you, you need to be away from it, or else he will slap you.
Oh, that was just a threat rip. It's only a 10k fixate, so he just ripped threat on it. He didn't even target him. Like, switch to fixate. That's just threat pull.
Oh well.
Kinda, but I mean, we shouldn't be wiping
Like,
at this. We've
he
all
also,
done this lots.
He also has an AoE silence, right? So
Yes, he does.
there should be no reason to be close to him, unless you're melee.
No, you don't want to be.
I know, I failed.
Is any of the melee dying from? Was it Telonicus that has the little bombs?
Yeah, I got double bombed.
Same.
People in their communal gear getting one shot by
Directly
bombs.
behind him, max melee range. You shouldn't get hit bot bombs?
No, the bombs are just he throws them at the tank's feet, so you just don't want to be standing on the tank, and don't stand in the guy's hitbox because most likely the tank's probably too close.
Well, they're like our bombs. They have a 3-yard radius. So if you're like right behind him, you're still gonna get hit. Like on his butthole.
Yeet, yeet, yeet. You always want to be max melee range. That one is a little bit challenging because he had to be like off to the side because of Copernian's weird positioning,
But I mean, if we want, like I said, I can hold Thou in the back because Icy Touch instant gets him back on me after Fixate is transitioned, and I don't have to be near him.
Yeah, and I don't need the second take up front, so long as I'm not getting CC'd.
Yeah. I don't know if that'd make it easier, but I figure it will be.
yeah, like, I don't want to be super harsh, but I mean, we've all been doing most of this for several months. A lot of us are dying to the pretty basic mechanics of this encounter.
I've never been here in my life.
Wow.
This is the man with 4,500 HP.
So I was joking. I've been here a lot, too many times.
I was here a lot in 2008.
Just focus up, stay alive. Again, this is all just about endurance. Don't die, and it's an easy fight. There's just mechanics that'll kill you, and that's what we're failing to, is mechanics. So let's focus up.
Doesn't help our rogue doesn't have daggers. That's hilarious.
Lame.
Last round, I was mind controlled and I saw Ugly beating me. Is that supposed to break me out or something?
No, the weapon, the dagger. So there's the dagger that he drops, warp slicer, no, infinity blade. It has a effect on it that when an ability is used, it will break the mind control.
Right, I
But it has
wasn't
to be a
getting
melee
broken out
ability.
though.
Yeah, because the only people are Small Wiener and Ugly, and at that
Yeah.
time, I think one was dead and the other one was mind controlled.
I saw Ugly hit me though. It was the first wave.
Okay.
Not sure what was going on there.
Yeah, no, that was I had the dagger in my main hand because I thought I could mutilate to get people out, but I guess I was energy starved. I didn't think of that. I just gonna put it in my offhand because the way my like swing timer, like I'm like it's more advisable for me to have the slow.
Just melee swings don't do it. It has to be an ability. So if you're putting it in your offhand, that means you have to shift. Which is fine, just be aware.
Yeah, I put it in my main hand, and I was gonna try to get people out, but it was not working. Either I didn't have the energy to mutilate, or it just didn't work. I'm pretty sure it just didn't work.
Yeah, they can dodge it and stuff too. So sometimes it takes a couple tries.
You guys
we're giving this one more go. If we don't get it, we're just gonna move on. I don't really want us to bang our heads against it. We have enough people to do it, but we're not staying alive, so we'll give it a go though.
One more trip. As long as we get into SSC, boss that drops, good to go.
Same deal. Thaladrid to the back. Keep pulling him back.
Wrong
Keep
way,
pulling
bro.
him back, not towards the front. Further back. It was really bad movement. All we did is walk him back and forth there. It was really bad.
Nervous, man. Get me
What's your word
nervous.
for him?
Get feared here. 5 or 6. Not bad.
On
Not bad.
the side there.
Whose pet's going in? Oh lord. Stay out of position.
Okay, she moved again, so just be careful, melee. You're gonna have to make sure you guys are out of range of the conflict.
You can run back a little bit this if you want to pull her back out.
You're too close, you got conflict there as well.
Okay.
It's hard to gauge the range on that.
You just want to be max range of your abilities.
That was max.
You got 2 people conflict over there now. Unless they changed something about it. Like, that should have been far enough.
I mean, I was out of range. I took a step up, and that was it.
Maybe a
If you
numbers
pull
issue.
Telonicus back at all, just be careful, melee. Don't get hit by bombs. Okay, that's good.
Fairy fires. Right. We'll be coming back. Tell nobody.
Make sure you pick up your weapon. If you're using a staff, make sure you use it.
I didn't even put my other weapons on. Like it mattered. Chance to do.
Is he gonna fuck everything up to move a staff wielder into group 2 so we don't get like feared? Right at
Staff
the
has
beginning?
nothing to do with fear. It's disorients and stuns.
Long.
I thought the staff you can't get feared if you have the buff. That's why you have it in the tank group.
It's on use, so I'm hitting the tanks with it.
Stuns, silences, and disorients. Has nothing to do with fears. Yeah. All you can get is Tremor Totem for fears and Fear Ward. So, Super Priest, can you throw a Fear Ward onto
I just did it to Parm. Sorry.
Parm? Thanks. Capernian's running. Melee, be careful. Get a lot of distance from Capernian, guys. It's not wipe this time. Keep your distance from Capernian.
She's on SD.
Just keep spamming Searing Pain.
Got her on disc.
Keep your distance, don't get conflict. Died to bombs. I've got the interrupt. Go ahead and lust.
I'll get the next one.
Break the MC.
I got next.
I've got next. Can't stand it. It's that flame strike?
Dude, it's.
There was in
I'm
melee that you had
outside
to
of
move out
it right now. Like it's on the floor right now, and I'm outside of it, and I still got killed.
Well, we're out of the difficult phase.
There's a res up if you want.
Get the healing.
Yeah, it's probably best to get Este up.
Are they still mind controlling? Or can I swap from the
There's
dagger?
no more mind controls.
Gravity levels.
I've got next interrupt. Wasted it on gravity laps. Shit. Remember, dodge the black orbs.
Doing it.
Kicked.
Yeah, next.
Oh. Oh. I did it.
Let's move on. Let's do a few bosses in SSC real quick.
Nice rod for the
God of
rogues.
the Sun King. Holy
X is.
That has some play with some of the energy returns for AoE for rogues.
Yes, it does. That boots a blasting pattern. I'm just gonna need. We'll sell it for guild bank funds.
Chat pro when you can, please.
So we'll kill a few bosses in SSC. It'll be really quick. There's no fights that are quite like this in there.
I gotta go.
Later.
Oh, I didn't give him.
Again, I do apologize for ripping that threat.
It's all good. It happens.
Rogues didn't want the rod.
Well, I wasn't gonna take it. It's just a note.
Yeah, one of you two should take it. It's really good for rogue.
I think. Yeah, like
Maces are great for leveling.
Mace done.
Dist, are you switching or you gotta go?
No, I'm switching. I haven't done SSC on Dist yet. So don't worry about it.
Okay. Yeah, do a few quick bosses in here. And like I said, Vosh, Fathom Lord, Leo. Those are pretty easy. I was thinking about it the other day. I think Leo's going to be really easy with a DK tank, Icy Touch, off for his threat reset.
Nobody's there.
Are we still calling it quits at 9? Because I'm probably gonna be leaving at 9, I think.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we'll be like ditching it at 9, so it'll just be
20
killing
minutes?
a couple bosses. We got 20 minutes. We can get through it. Skipping the first one, just clearing some trash. We can easily kill the first two in there. So.
Oh, it's only if it's only another 20 minutes, I'll stick around.
Yeah, we're not gonna do the whole thing or anything. So I'm thinking we do what, rush Vosh and then go back and kill Leo and Fathom Lord. And if we still have time, do Lurker.
That works.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Fathom Lord. Hey.
Let's just get in here, kill some bosses, do it nice and quick. Actually, wait, who drops the Serpent Coil Braid?
Morgrim.
It is Morgrim, shit. It's a lot of bosses for 20 minutes. Like, Vosh is gonna take us like 10. Should we just skip Vosh? Doesn't really drop anything that useful. I was thinking about doing it for the vials at least, so we can get our rep rings, but
Yeah, just do it for the vials at the very least.
okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. I got it planned out.
Who needs Fathom Lord? Did you say Fathom Lord?
Yeah. I mean, we could skip it if we have to. He's not like it's like a difficult fight or would take us a while. He's just on the way. We'd just be going through the middle.
I think Fathom Lord is going to be a bit harder with such a small raid.
We just group it up and kill them one by one. There's a
That's
lot
what I
of
mean. Like that's a little bit slower, so more time for the tornadoes to wreak havoc.
Probably still only be one tornado. She only has like 600k health, and that's pre-nerf. Let's just get in here, get going as quick as possible. We ended up wasting a lot of time in TK. I guess we should have came here first. As the seems like the raid more people were interested in getting a few pieces from.
The Phoenix, though,
Yeah,
cannot be understated.
No.
But the Phoenix.
Spent too much time wiping though.
Go outside.
Can we summon Ayak, Magic Aura, and Elite Mob?
Yeah, we're like locked outside waiting for the freaking little waterfall thing.
I got DC'd, so I'm coming back in.
I've got Ayak.
Thanks.
Never mind, you're already here. I'll get Elite Mob. Says you're an invalid target.
Offline.
Start clearing trash. Let's group it up, face it away.
Not doing buff. Alright.
Oh my gosh. Feeling about this.
Group those together.
About this.
Good mushrooms. Pull that into the next pack.
Oh, I'm gonna pull it.
Oh, get out.
Oh, wait to pull. All our healers are back there.
My food buff. Sure, it's not gonna. Star. What if I Starfell? Starfall hit.
Let's pull that single guy into the next pack. Let's go to the Vosh first, and then I'll do the whole reverse bottle adventure, see how far we get.
Are we gonna need that macro to throw the needle or whatever?
Won't need the macro, but we'll have to throw him, yeah. Let's go straight to Vosh.
Tainted core.
Got 10 minutes.
Yeah, not a lot of time. I feel like we spent a lot of time in TK, unfortunately, but it's alright. Yeah, we could always set up this on the weekend or something to come in and finish it if we want.
drown.
Yeah, there's still fish in the water, so jump over. Alright,
Ag radius is huge.
Yeah, she does do her shock blast. Zeph, just make sure you keep down grounding totem. Phase 1, phase 3. Make sure you don't let any of the little elementals get to her in phase 2. It's pretty easy though. Melee, for the most part, will be able to handle them as they come up.
Is Zeph gonna kite the striders?
I don't think they have a bonus threat coefficient anymore. I'll do it. I'll just need help slowing them with a frost shock, but I'll kite them. Actually, you know what? Hyro can kite them. Hyro can kite them. Parm can worry about tanking the elites.
Roger that.
Alright. That's good.
Enough.
Go ahead, Parm. It's phase 2. You know what? I wonder, can we death grip the poison elementals when they spawn?
Can you death grip these?
Not sure.
Because I think that'll answer your question.
No, they're immune. It's an elite in 3.
Where's it tainted?
Over here.
2. You gotta kill it quick or it's gonna despawn.
I couldn't get there in time.
Yeah, Dis
I'll go
does.
right
You're
across the
there.
map.
You just gotta kill him quick. Don't ever let him despawn. Where's that?
Where's tainted? It's over here.
It's over.
Let's kill fast. Anybody have a frost shock or a slow for that strider?
I can root it.
Yeah, pass it.
Elementals are getting to the center.
Where is it?
Where's that tainted at? Looks like 1 where we came from.
Leads up.
Can you pick that up, throw it to the top of the stairs? Veggie, just wait. Can you throw it to me now? Veggie, you
Can't
got it?
touch.
Thanks. Strider and Elite coming from the door. Tainted Ellie.
It's on me.
We're gonna have to go all the way across to get to one of the generators. Okay, I need to throw it all the way across.
Yep.
This going to you.
Going to veggie.
This is the last one.
No, there's
Not the
one
last
more.
one.
We missed the first one. There's one more.
Strider over here. Same spot.
Okay, same thing. We're gonna have to get it all the way across. I need to get it to veg. Ugly, I threw it to you. You can throw it to me or veggie. Get ready. Oh, it's dunked. It's dunked. Bad timing, but okay. There's an elite up. Go ahead and lust.
Kill elite, Cleaves.
Gosh.
Poison's just not a thing anymore.
They don't come out for like 30 seconds.
Greedy. No. No potion.
Good job. As long as we got. You guys want to stay and do one boss? We'll go kill the guy with the serpent claw braid at least, and then we can try to come back here on the weekend to finish it up if you guys would like. Won't take us very long. It's about 4 trash packs and then the boss. It's really quick. He's a tank and spank too for the most part.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'll call it after that. I don't want to keep people.
We're not gonna be able to do the water skip, are we, to get there because of the stuff to love?
Yeah, no, we won't be able to water skip. We can do the partial one though.
You know how long I've been waiting to get that vial for like 3 months here.
Yeah, now you can get your rep ring. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We basically
So
just have to kill
play
this
to wait
big
to
guy,
turn
this
that
one
in.
pack, and then we can jump.
It's the play to wait to turn that in for the experience with Wrath.
I kind of want the ring now, though. I don't know.
Ooh, someone jump in the
Big
water?
guy.
Oh,
Yeah, you
never
can't jump in the water yet. It's deadly.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look at the ring, see how big of an upgrade it is, because my rings are trash right now.
Sportquake.
One starfire. Oh.
So just group them up and kill them, basically. Just wait for the pat, and we'll go. We'll summon Eldoria once she's back. Go ahead. Kill the mages first. cleansing totems while tide collars are out as well.
Tried to type.
Thank you for that bubble.
You can skip these if you jump to the left.
Cuts are running off.
Yeah, just dismiss them.
Come back your gun.
You do mind control, just be careful for that. You also push back, don't have your backs to the water. Your little warriors of threat drops.
I'm gonna summon Eldori after this pack.
Still have.
Oh, careful.
A dash went away. Left
While I do that, I want to get some food buff.
When you leave cat form,
Yeah, you can pull this next repair whenever you're ready.
still showing it. Cat form's been weird for me the past
Come
couple.
around in front of us. Just wait.
Back a bit. We got 2. Now it looks like 3.
I wish every AV was like 1,000 on. Like I
Just doing work. That was good.
That was nice. Let's keep pulling. We're gonna have to grab that next one on the left here. All right, I think that's all of them. This is basically just a tank and spank. Whoever's tanking them, you're going to tank them kind of over here on the left. Everybody else are going to be standing directly behind them. Don't stand near the waterfalls. At about 20%, you just back them up into the corner. It's the entire fight. Pure tank and spank. Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't mind pulling all those Murlocs at once. It would have been hell of a lot of fun.
You are less on the start.
Yeah, once he's in position. It'll be in like the first 10 seconds.
Am I good?
Yeah, go ahead. Don't be near that water, guys. Stand behind him. You don't want to be off on your own or it causes troubles with those Murlocs. Thanks for lust.
Of course, I get it first. Naturally. Another pack. Of course. Why not? Please, Morgan, have another banish.
Start slowly walking him back. Just make sure you guys dodge little Orbeez. Boo, loot. Do you guys feel like doing one more? That was fun.
Yes.
I'm
I
going to
want to
bed.
do one more, but if you guys don't want to, you can head out. I'm not gonna make you.
I gotta go. I got work.
All right, sounds good. If you guys got to drop, you can drop. If you guys want to try to stay,
Ooh.
we can honestly probably like 10 men this next one, but it's up to you guys. We'll give it a go with whoever's
10
left,
men.
though.
Growlog will just take them all.
Oh, we don't have an actual tank. I'll bring my warrior. I could tank them all.
What do you mean?
Good night, guys.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
Good night, guys.
Have a good night.
Night. We have exactly 10 people. And 1 healer and 1 tank. We got this. No, wait.
Let me grab my warrior. My warrior can tank this easily. He does so much damage. Yeah, let me switch over. Give me a sec. Alright, 9-manning it. Let's try it. All right, I just need to
9-manning.
take this port so I can switch. Eight manning it. This is gonna be interesting. But let's give it a try. If not, we can
Lord.
always, I don't know. We might be able to find a couple of people to kill it, but I feel like the biggest mistake was doing TK first. Should have done SSC first.
Can I get a summon? I accidentally took that port like an idiot.
Oh my god, what are you doing?
Yep, no problem.
Yeah, I've been figuring out this class and my UI this entire fucking raid. So it's been a transformative raid. My entire UI has changed, all my button layouts, and I've learned a little bit more about the rogue class.
That's what pre-patch is. It's kind of like the preseason, you know, for the NFL. Just trying out shit.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun, especially on that boss. I'm finally able to actually fucking just focus on my rotation and not focus on not dying because I have like under 6,000 health. Or like I have like under 7,000 health fully buffed.
Yeah,
So
my other warlock had like 6k health, so when that chick was fireballing me, I was like one shot.
It's sketchy. It's really sketch right now with the whole health.
All veggies in chat are gonna like, you know what? We're probably not gonna be able to do it. I think Magicora said she's gotta go too, but we're giving this a go. It's gonna be Scott.
6 man.
We're giving it a go.
Alright, so we got kings.
Oh
We got
my
go.
gosh.
We're good.
We're
We gotta
giving this a
go.
go.
We gotta go and dis, and I'm gonna be an interrupt bot.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna kill those goddamn totems, and that's it. It's gonna be my job. Well, dis and go, just go. Just go.
So what are we doing?
Just this next boss is all we're doing. I think we can do it.
Our big, meaty Tauren tank.
Oof. I bopped in the block. Oof.
Like silence or something? I can't taunt.
You're mind controlled.
Well, now I am.
Well, fun while it lasted. Single turn. Yeah.
Oh, that witch is almost dead.
Bubbles F. Oh, never mind. Dono carrying.
Everything's on cooldown.
At least I just take like negative damage from these mobs.
They just have no DPS.
Right?
35 HP. I think Thor's got killing blow.
Okay, I got it figured out. I redid all my bindings. Made that a lot worse than it needed to be. Sorry about that, guys. It's the last like trash pack with a mind control though. Then it's just a couple big guys and then the boss that we can give it a try. Which we'll just do one by one, but stack them up. So you guys are gonna have to dodge some tornadoes, but I think we'll manage. It'll be a long fight, but we'll manage.
Yeah, it's like. Okay. I gotta heal a 7-minute long Fathom Lord.
I don't know if it'll be 7 minutes. It'll be a long time.
We have innervate.
Oh yeah, we do.
It's an experiment. It's an experiment. Thanks for sticking around and giving these things a go. I do apologize for that, TK. That's
Yeah.
we had a few too many deaths to a few too many things, and that really wasted a lot of time. Unfortunately, just really burnt a lot of the evening.
I've been trying to get in here for 3 months, so I'm good.
I really should have just done this first. I don't know. Seems like a lot more people were a lot more into the bosses here than they were in TK. So.
I was about to message you back, but how many of those moonfires that he got crit gave Nature's Grace? Can't look right now. He had what? Oh, he only used 2. He used 2 moonfires. He used 6 insect swarm. Oh, you're talking about yours. Yeah, so how many of your moonfires crit? Doesn't even show any.
I'm gonna pull this one back a bit more. I want to be safe so I don't accidentally pull 2.
Unless you just didn't crit any of them. That'd just be terrible RNG. 0 crits. Oh.
You're pulling some pretty nutty DPS on that warrior with absolutely no raid buffs.
Yeah, I think I could do like probably 2 to 3k fully raid buffed. Maybe even a shitter that's not using Ren. Do we need to pull all of these? Like, if we pull them up here, is he gonna aggro all these? I have no idea.
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure at all.
Like, I've never not cleared the rooms. I have no idea.
Same.
Uncrit? Yeah, that's just bad RNG. Can't use that example. At least 3 of them should have crit. That's 3 Nature's Graces, a little bit more damage.
Those things don't drop threat anymore, or Warrior Cleave is just that good now?
I think it's the second one.
No, the pet.
Just one boss. Everybody left.
Try to pull that back, the pet pull. Kill this one first.
At night. That's when the raid time was. We had some people that wanted to keep. Oh yeah, we got 6-man core right now. No demo lock?
Sport Quake. Back up if you need to up there.
What is this? Oh shit. 7k wrath.
Good mushrooms, nice. This guy will probably still Sport Quake, just be careful. Sport Quake. You guys can back up out of that if you need to.
We had a couple people leveling up the first week. Like boost. This week we had some fresh DKs. Had a little bit of gear.
Alright, so the big thing is going to be kicks and killing the totem. And that should be pretty much
But we've
it.
had 25 for the main raids.
We'll have to kill Charybdis
Last
first
if
and Tidvalis second.
I took a
We'll
week
have to kill
off.
them all 3 though. Kill
I want to
They
in
only have 600k health. It's
like
not
2 actual days. Played time probably
be
like
able to get through it combined. They only have
30, 32 to 35 hours. Say. think it's gonna take a while, a bit longer than we're estimating. Yeah, there's gonna be a couple people that can do it in like 24.
Do we just fight him wherever, or is positioning important?
Yeah, I think it's gonna take a little while longer. 2 or 3 actual days.
It'll be about a 5-minute fight based on my math of that last encounter. Honestly,
I don't
probably
plan to
less
dungeon
because
or
we're
to
gonna get
quest
a
at
lot
all.
of cleave-ins. So it's probably gonna be like 4 minutes, but so realistically, that's like a early like week kill of this. I'm gonna be tanking it pretty much where they are. I'm just gonna like charge
Dungeon and AoE grinding.
Okay. So just remember, you guys are gonna have to dodge the tornadoes, so you might want to be just lightly spread out. You don't have to be very spread out, just very lightly.
All right.
Do this. I don't have any rage for the bowl, so make sure you just give me like half a second, but then you can pretty much open up entirely. Pull. Go to lust. Totem.
Ooh.
Should you kill those totems?
I'm about to pull. I can't help it. 5k? Oh.
Keeps getting that heal off.
Can't do enough damage to the totem. Another totem.
Oh, I got chunked. Ah, good try. Yeah, we definitely needed more than that. Good try though. It was fun.
That was
Yeah,
fun.
the totems were kind of slow to DPS down.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things hurt so much. Just one tick.
Yeah, the Seer Nova. Yeah, a lot was going off. I mean, the thing is, like, you have to kill her pretty quick, otherwise she's just gonna get a lot of heals off. She does that little water bolt AOE. Like, it's a lot of raid damage plus the totem if they're not all going down. But that was an interesting one. Good job.
Yeah, like I got immediately whirlwinded into an ice bolt, into a, somehow a knockback, into I
think it would take a lot of time to get lore mastered.
my way.
Yeah, that
So,
tornado just stayed in.
it'd be good for gold, but I think you would not get free raid gear. Sacrifice.
It was fun though. That was a fun experiment.
So if you don't care about
I
having
regret not
your
just
raid
going out
first
to sea
raid,
first, though. I feel like there was items
then yeah.
people actually kind of wanted out of there, getting some stuff. So it was a fun little night of just messing around though.
Yeah, it's just SSC loot. You know, it's not like it's not gonna be taken over by Sunwell loot next week or something
But
like
I
that.
plan on getting
I mean, there's a couple things
free
that are
raid gear
decent, like the,
immediately. Doing heroics every day.
Yeah, the mage trinket.
So you would
the tsunami
struggle
zone
to get all the heroics done.
Yeah, I just really didn't like how much time we spent in TK. I felt like we were losing people on every trash
And
pack,
quest at the same time.
or something, right? And then
Yeah, it was
wiping
every trash
twice.
pack.
Yeah, wiping twice wasn't ideal, and it was all just mechanics. Like every time, it was somebody standing in a whirlwind, dying to bombs. pulling thread on the fixates, right? Like it was always something avoidable. Thanks for staying. Thanks for trying. We can try to fill this up and see if maybe we can
And,
the weekend.
the queue's gotten any
it's definitely
better?
Too late now to fill it up. GG though, really appreciate everybody who stuck around to give it a go. That was a fun little experiment.
It was fun.
So bad, huh?
Anyways, I'm gonna head out. Have a good night, y'all.
You have a good one. Have a good night.
Who gave me the... Check some out stuff. The auction house being down today kind of cut into my cloth. Good night. Five gold. Too many people got too much silk while the auction. They ain't selling for nothing today. Seven. Silk is a lot. Huh. Thorium's gone down. Shit I've been selling is going down. Pretty good. Might camp some mithril tomorrow at work. Like it? Alright, good done. Night time. 6 swarm wins again. Looking at. Oh, my twins? You looking at my twins' damage? Dude. What was yours? $38. Oh, this is a screenshot. I'm sitting here trying to click. At my graph. Gaps there. gap there. Start until 5 seconds in fight. Gap. I need a gap. Just a damage. Yeah, but yeah, I need to do that because I gotta work on loot list when it comes available. But I had some. I was looking at it a little bit. Shoulders. Not too worried about the chest gloves because we get the tier 7 chest and gloves from terrorism. And we can get the shoulders from emblems of valor. Wasn't planning on using legs. So tier wise I would go for first. Trying to pry weapons. Oh, you try to do that will last the. Yeah, the neck drops. Like at least you know it drops every single. But you're gonna want the neck. Weapon, I don't really plan on going for the torch. So hopefully people aren't going for the weapon that. Same with the trinkets. I'm not too worried about illustration. I can solve myself. Hopefully Dying Curse drops a lot since we drop off a couple bosses. Same with Lost thing is gonna be really sought after. The legs, the cloth hit legs, they're gonna be sought after. Things will be tier 8 that are in tier. I haven't got that far. But I'm looking, this is stuff I'm looking into. I was kind of waiting for that loot list and if we were going to be using 2 phases. But yeah, I'll look at all this stuff weekend. Figure it out a little bit. Yeah, even like the offhand. I need to sit there and I know it's not going to be completely accurate, but look at the best in slot list off of Wowhead. See what it has everybody's classes at wanting. Weapon. Like, what sucks is there's not many choices like bracers, cape, belt, leg, boots, ring. 1 or 2 26 eye level pieces. But if they're buffing all the Ulduar gear, probably replace everything, I would imagine. I would think everything gets replaced in Ulduar. Top part. Yeah. Yeah, it's like I never got Zardoom, but I would have been mad if I got it Sunwell. I would have been like pissed. Yeah, I'll be looking at that stuff a lot. Days. Maybe try to get me please to come back. Talked about pre-raid, but we didn't talk about best of. See what his take is. Yeah, that gives me something to do at work tomorrow too. And look at all those BIS lists. Listing for other classes and specs. Yeah, the other day, like, Pure Helm, I think, is what I was trying to get. Get the 4-piece. So I was like, Helm and legs. I'd be pretty close to the top. Neck, I wouldn't really care if I got that a couple like weeks in. Cloak. Maybe cloak. The ring, I don't think I'd be too worried about. Yeah, like, I think like top 2? I don't know what the third would. Top 2 is like Pure Helm and the legs. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Like biggest upgrades from pre-bis. I don't think like offhand and stuff like racers, lost Druul. Yeah, I think there's a lot of items that aren't that big of an up. Yeah. I'm out for now. Looking at it. Stay tuned. It's on my mind.